Hello dear students. So let us see the solution to this paper. This is the first question on the AC circuits. Now again a bit of controversial question. Here what happens is that they have given that the potential difference across the capacitor is 10 volts. Okay. Here the resistor is of 60 ohms and the potential difference across the resistor is 15 volts. Similarly the potential difference across the inductor is 20 volts, and here they have shown you one more resistor. Now in the diagram which came in the JEE main exam, the key was shown like this. So here you can see that key is left open. Okay, but this assumption was not written originally in the JEE question. Okay, in the main exam this assumption was not written. Okay, so many students got confused. Those who figured it out that key is open, so that will make this register useless, because of course if the key is open then no current can flow through this register. All right, that means effectively the current will flow in this type of a circuit, and this can be treated as an LCR series circuit. Okay, so first let's assume that the current is flowing like this. Okay, so in that situation this will be the RMS voltage. If nothing is mentioned, then we assume the voltage given as RMS voltage. That means the RMS voltage across the resistor is 15, and if I apply the the formula across the resistor, then I can say that RMS voltage will be equals to RMS current into the R. Okay, so R value is 60 ohms, which means that IRMS will be equals to 1 by 4 amperes. All right, now the same current will be flowing through the inductor as well as capacitor. Okay, so we can write the RMS voltage across the inductor, okay, as is equals to IRMS into XL. Okay, IRMS into XL, and VL is given as 20 volts. IRMS is 1 by 4. XL can be written as omega L. Okay, XL can be written as, I'm so sorry, omega L. So 20 into 4 becomes 80. Okay, and this omega is 100 into L, so L becomes how much? 0.8 Henry. All right, so this is the value of inductance. And similarly if I try to find the value of the capacitance, so I can write VC is equals to IRMS into XC. All right, and VC is given as 10 volts, IRMS is 1 by 4, XC can be written as 1 by omega C. All right, so from here if you see, we can say that the omega value will be equals to what? Omega value will be equals to 1 by 40. I'm so sorry, capacitance we have to find. So capacitance will be equals to what? 1 by 40 omega. Okay, and the value of omega is 100. That means 1 by 4000 1 by 4000 farad. So if you have to find the answer in the microfarad, then you have to multiply by 10 to the power 6, and now this will be 10 to the power 6 microfarad. Okay, that means this becomes 1000 by 4 microfarad, which means effectively this is 250 microfarad. So answer will be 0.8 Henry and 250 microfarad. Now understand that if this resistor, if this key is, I mean, if we take this key to be closed, okay, which of course is open, but I'm just telling you, if you take this key to be closed, then what will happen? None of the options will match. In this case, this resistor and this inductor will be in parallel. So there are two ways by which you can do this question. One is vector method, okay, and second you can use complex number method also. So for complex number method, the resistance of a resistor will be simply 40 ohms, and the resistance of this will be taken as iota times XL, and you can treat these two in parallel. Then the combination of these two will be treated with these two in series. Okay, so here also resistance will be 60 ohms, but here the resistance will be minus iota times XC. Okay, so these three resistors, I mean this one minus iota XC and this R, and this combination, which is the parallel combination of 40 ohms and iota times XL. So these three will be taken in series, and then from there we can solve the question. Of course it will be a complicated question which is much above the JEE mains level, I can say. So which is why that makes it doesn't make sense to take the key as open, closed, sorry. And also they have shown you the key as open. Okay, and also options will match only if you take key as open. Okay, so I hope you would have understood. All right, let us see the next question. This question is of vectors. Here x and y, there are two vectors of equal magnitudes, and the magnitude of x minus y is n times the magnitude of x plus y. Okay, then we have to find the angle between x and y. Very easy question, guys. I hope you would have done this question and gotten easy 4 marks for yourself, which will give you a lot of good ranks. I mean, it will improve your ranks like anything. So basically look, as per the question, the magnitude of the vector x is equals to magnitude of the vector y. Okay, and we can say that we have to find, in the question it is given that the magnitude of x minus y is n times the magnitude of x plus y. All right, that means mod of x minus y is equals to n times the mod of x plus y. All right, so if I square this, so we will get, in the LHS we will get x square plus y square minus 2x dot y. All right, and here you will get n square into x square plus y square plus 2x dot y. All right, Then since it is given that magnitude of x and y are equal, so what we can do, we can like put mod x as mod y. So this is the magnitude of x, this is the magnitude of y. This will become x square. Y can be replaced by x only now. This is x square, and this will become mod of x mod of y cos theta. So this will become x into y. Now y can be written as x again into cos theta is equals to n square into x square. Then this y square will be again x square plus 2xy cos theta. So x into y is again x into cos theta. All right. So from here you can see that x square will get cancelled now. So we can cancel the value of the x square, x square, x square, x square, x square, x square, x square. So here we will get 2 minus 2 cos theta is equals to n square into 2 plus 2 cos theta. All right. So from here 2 will also get cancelled, and we will get 1 minus cos theta is equals to n square into 1 plus cos theta. Then that means from here we can say that the value of 1 minus cos theta, I mean, what you can do, you have to find the value of cos theta. So you can take the terms of cos theta on one side. So this will be n square in plus n square cos theta. Okay, this you can bring this side, and 1 you can take this side. So this will become n square cos theta minus cos theta. Okay, and this will be is equals to n square minus 1. All right. So from here cos theta comes out to be how much? N square minus 1 upon n square plus 1, and also we will get a minus sign extra. Okay, so I think which option is matching? Option 1 is not matching. Option 2 is also option 2 is matching, right? Yeah, if I take minus common here, then option 2 matches. So this is right. Okay, if you bring minus here, then you can see that this can be written as minus of n square minus 1 upon minus of n square minus 1. This is what cos theta is. Okay, so option B will be the correct answer for this question. I hope you would have understood. All right. The galvanometer has a resistance of 20 ohms and read full scale when the 0.2 volt is applied across it. To convert it into a 10 ampere ammeter, the galvanometer coil should have. So again, this is a question from current electricity. In case you have studied this topic, then you would have definitely done this question, not a very difficult one. So this is saying that galvanometer has a resistance of 20 ohm and it reads full scale current when 0.2 volt is applied across it. What does this mean? So imagine that this is the galvanometer. All right, and let us say the resistance of this galvanometer is 20 ohms. All right, now if you apply a 20 volt potential difference, that means let us say the potential difference is 20 volt. Okay, then the current here becomes maximum. So clearly we can say that the full scale deflection current means the maximum current that this galvanometer can have, that will be equals to potential difference 20 divided by resistance, which is, I mean, not 20, my bad, this is 0.2 not 20. So this is 0.2 volts, not 20 volts. 0.2 volts divided by 20. That means this becomes how much? 2 by 200. That means how much? 0.1, 0.01 amperes. This is the value of maximum current that this galvanometer can sustain. If the current goes beyond 0.01, then this galvanometer will blast. I mean, it will not blast, but it will stop functioning. Okay. So the idea here is that you should not at any cost send more current than this 0.01 ampere. Now we want to create an ammeter which can measure up till 10 ampere. All right, so what do we do? Remember, you connect a very small resistor shunt in parallel with the galvanometer. So this was your galvanometer, and we connect a very small resistor called as shunt. All right, and this whole combination is called as ammeter. All right, now the 10 ampere current, assume this 10 ampere current is coming, because that is how much we want to measure. So 10 ampere, if it is coming, then galvanometer, this is your galvanometer, it will say that brother, I can't accept more than 0.01. So only 0.01 ampere will go in the galvanometer. So remaining, that means 10 minus 0.01, 10 minus 0.01 should go in the shunt. Okay, should go in the shunt. And now you can very well see that shunt and galvanometer are in parallel. That means potential difference across shunt, which is 10 minus 0.01, should be is equals to potential difference across the galvanometer, which is 0.01 into 20. Okay, so from here the value of the shunt comes out to be, you can see that 0.2 upon 10 minus 0.01, which is 9.99. Now approximately this can be treated as 10 only for the calculations. That means this becomes 0.02 ohms. Hence the shunt, which is 0.02 ohms, should be connected in parallel across the galvanometer. So option B is the correct answer for this question. I hope you would have understood. All right. In this question, there is a force of 40 I cap plus 10 J cap, which is acting on a body of mass 5 kg. If the body starts from rest, from origin, then we have to find the position vector of the body at time 10 seconds. Now again, you can't expect an easier question, guys. Very, very easy question. If we find the acceleration of the body, then we can write that as force upon mass, right? Now the force is 40 I cap plus 10 j cap divided by the mass of the body, which is 5. So this will become 8 I cap plus 2 j cap. This will be the acceleration of the body, right? Now you can see that acceleration is constant. So displacement can be written as ut plus half at square. Okay, and since the initial velocity was 0, then we can say that acceleration is 8 I cap plus 2 j cap, okay, into t square. Time is 10, so we can multiply by 10 into 10. So from here you can see that this becomes how much? You know, 50 into 8. 50 into 8 is 400, and 15 to 2 is 100. So 400 I cap plus 100 j cap. This will be the total value of the displacement. Since, and also remember, we have to find the position vector, but since the particle started from origin, which is why we can say that position vector will be equals to displacement. All right, now let us see this question. So basically, in this question is a conducting ring of radius r and resistance capital R, which is moving downward with the constant velocity v. Due to the fixed magnet, the axial magnetic field varies along with the axial distance given by this value, and the radial magnetic field varies as 2 by pi x Tesla. When the ring is at a height h from the north pole of the magnetic field experienced by the ring is, so magnetic force, sorry, not the field. So let's try to understand what is happening here. Let's imagine that this is the this is how the magnet is, which is north pole is like this and south pole is like this. Okay, now imagine that this is the ring, and distance between the north pole of the magnet and the ring is, let us say, x. All right, now basically what happens is that this magnet will produce two types of field. So one is the axial field. So axial field will be along the axis of the magnet and the ring, both have common axis. You can say that here it is given in the question. So basically we can say that this is the axis, and let's say the axial field is given like this, bx. Okay, so this is the axial field. All right, and the radial field will be away from the axis, so let's say this is the radial field. Okay, now first let's talk about the effect of the axial field. So see, flux in this, so axial field we can say will be in this direction, okay, along the axis. So flux in this ring, okay, flux in this ring can be written as how much? Pi r square into the this magnetic axial field. Okay, because axial field is parallel to the area vector of the ring. So you can say, if this is the area vector of the ring, so we can say that pi r square into bx. Okay, this is the direction of the axial field. All right, now so axial field will have the same direction everywhere, like this is the value of the axial field. Okay, and the radial field, you can say, will not create any flux, because radial component of the field, okay, radial component of the field will be perpendicular to the area vector. You can see that radial component will be like this, it will be going along the axis. So this will be perpendicular to the area vector of the ring. Area vector will be along this direction. So we can say that radial component will not create any flux. So we can say that this will be the value of the flux which is passing through the ring. All right, now as this x will change, look, because this is the flux is function of the axial field, sorry, flux is the function of the x. So x value is this bx is 1 upon pi x. Okay, so from here pi will get cancelled, so value of pi will be r square by x. All right, now if I find the value of d phi by dt, okay, let's find the value of d phi by dt. So that will give you the value of the emf induced. Okay, so emf induced will be magnitude of d phi by dt. All right, so if I differentiate this, so this will become what? D by dt of r square by x. All right, so let us do this. So basically this will become, r square is a constant, it will come outside, this is x to the power minus 1. So minus 1 by x square into dx by dt. Okay, dx by dt, and dx by dt is nothing but the velocity of the magnet. Okay, velocity of the magnet, let us say velocity of the magnet is v. All right, so we can say that emf induced in this ring as a function of the x and velocity is this value, r square by x square into velocity. Dx by dt is nothing but the rate of change of x, which is nothing but the velocity. So this is the emf. Okay, now we can say that there's a resistance inside this ring whose value is given as capital R. Okay, if you see, this value of the resistance is capital R. Basically this is the resistance, which is capital R. So that means there will be some current flowing in this ring. Okay, there will be some current flowing in this ring. So that current we can write as emf induced in the ring divided by capital R. Okay, emf induced divided by capital R. Hence the current flowing in this ring will be E upon, which is value of E is r square into v divided by x square. This is the value of E, and this you have to divide by capital R. So this will give you the value of the current. Okay, now one more thing, suppose you want to find the direction of the EMF induced, or we can say if you have to find the direction of the current, then remember the Lenz's law. Since the magnetic field is in the upward direction here, okay, this Bx magnetic field is in the upward direction, and that means the upward going flux will increase as the ring falls towards the magnet. We can say that the upward going flux will increase. Okay, upward going flux will increase, and hence the current will be induced to decrease this flux, because Lenz's law says that EMF or the current gets induced to decrease the flux. So you have to keep your thumb down. That means the current will be, you can say, curling like this. So this is the sense of the curl of the current. Okay, upward going flux is increasing, so you have to keep your thumb down, and if you keep your thumb down, so sense of the finger is like this. Okay, that means we can say that this is how the currents are flowing. This is how the currents are flowing. All right, so basically this is how the current is flowing. Okay, now look, so we have already calculated the value of the current. Okay, now this becomes a current carrying conductor. Okay, this becomes a current carrying conductor. Okay, now let us understand what is happening here. So I'm showing you the same ring again. Okay, let me show you the same ring again. So this is the current carrying conductor. All right, so current is going like this. It is coming towards us, then it is going towards left, and here it is going in the screen. Okay, now if you take any small element of this current carrying conductor, okay, so this current carrying conductor is present in two types of, two components of magnetic field. So one is the Bx component. Now look, Bx component, suppose, is like this. Bx component is going in the upward direction. So if you look, this is the, suppose I take a small element on this, okay, dl vector, let us say. So Bx component will be going like this. Okay, Bx component will be going like this. So if you check the direction of the force, okay, due to this magnetic field on this small length dl, so remember df is given by I into dl cross b. Okay, I into dl cross b. So check out the direction of this dl cross b. So dl vector is towards right for this, and magnetic field is going up. This is the Bx component. Okay, so if you see dl cross b, if you do, okay, dl cross b, if you do, so your thumb will point towards the center. Okay, if you do dl cross b, your thumb will point towards the center. Okay, similarly for this dl element, if you check the diametrically opposite dl element, so here the dl is towards left. Okay, and magnetic field is still upward. So if you do here, then thumb will point inside. So what I'm trying to say, tell you here is that uh, uh, for every small dl element, the direction of df is pointing towards the center because of this magnetic field Bx. Okay, because of this magnetic field Bx, the df vector is pointing towards the center. Okay, so we can say that vector sum of these df's, like this df and this df, will cancel out. This will not create any net force. This will not create any net force. So this component of the magnetic field does not create any net force. But remember, we had one more component, which was the radial component. So it will be going away from the axis of the magnet, like, this is the radial component of the magnetic field. Okay, going away. So basically this is the radial component, like a, like a horizontal wheel. If you imagine horizontal wheel, so imagine the spokes of the wheel. Imagine the spokes of the wheel. So that is how the radial component is looking like. So now let me show you what happens because of this component. Okay, so again, this is the same ring that I have drawn. Okay, this is the same ring that I have drawn. Now look, so again, if you imagine the direction of the current, so here the current is going like this. So here the, again, the radial component, if you imagine, is going away from this. Okay, so this angle is 90. If you look, so what is the direction of the force? So direction of the force will be I into dl is towards x-axis, or I mean towards the right axis, I mean right side, and b is going in the screen. If you visualize, b is going like this. Okay, so angle between them is 90. So the direction, so force will become I into dl into b radial. Okay, now same thing will happen here also. If you imagine, dl is tangential and field is radial, so angle is 90. Same thing will happen here also. dl is tangential and field is radial, so angle is 90. So basically, if you add up the force, so if you check out the direction of the force for any small element, so I dl cross b is pointing upward. If you check, I dl is towards right and magnetic field is inside. So I dl cross b, if you do, so it is pointing up. Okay, so dl cross b, that means the force on each small element is going to act in the upward direction. Okay, if you check out the direction of dl cross b, so the total force will become just the integral of it, because direction of each small force is in the upward direction because of the radial component. This will become I into length of the wheel, length of the ring basically, into the radial component. Okay, now I value we had already calculated, that was r square v by x square into resistance. Okay, length of the ring is 2 pi r, which is the circumference, and radial component of the magnetic field was 2 by pi x. Okay, 2 by pi x. So from here pi and pi gets cancelled. So how much we get? 2 to the 4, r cube into v upon x cube into r. Okay, 4 r cube into v upon x cube into r, and the force is upward. So you can see that this option matches perfectly, and this will be the correct answer. It's a very good question, and of course, this would have given you like chills in the exam, but it's a very good question, right? I hope you would have understood. Let us see the next question. This question is: atomic hydrogen emits a line spectrum consisting of various series. Which series is in the visible region? Now, I think I mean, almost every one of you know that it is the Balmer region is in the visible region, Balmer series. The Lyman is in the ultraviolet region. Okay, and the series after Balmer, like Paschen bracket, they are in the infrared region. Okay, so Balmer series in the visible region. I think it's a known fact. All right. A plane EM wave of frequency 500 megahertz is traveling in the vacuum along the y direction, and at a particular point they have given you the magnetic field, which is this. Now notice the direction of magnetic field, it is along the k cap. The value of electric field has been asked, and the speed of light is this, and the direction of propagation of the EM wave is y direction. Okay, so let us say that this is the x direction. Okay, let us say that this is the y direction. All right, and let us say that this is the z direction. All right, so basically we can say that the wave is propagating along the x-axis, sorry, y-axis. So wave is going like this. Now try to recall that electric field, magnetic field, and direction of propagation of wave all must be perpendicular. So magnetic field is along z-axis. Okay, C cap is along the y-axis. That means electric field must be along the x-axis. Okay, so this y cap is certainly wrong. Out of BCD, it must be the answer. Okay. Now also, if you remember one thing, that value of E by B, that is the speed of light. So that means E is equals to CB. So B value was given as 8 into 10 to the power minus 8, and speed of light is, we know, is 3 into 10 to the power 8. That means the value of electric field becomes 24. Okay, that means this also becomes wrong. Now we have to choose the direction between minus I cap and plus I cap. So how we can do that? Remember, here the magnetic field is along the plus Z cap, and direction of propagation is along the plus J cap. All right. Now remember, direction of E cross B. Okay, direction of E cross B, that means electric field cross magnetic field. Direction of that gives you the direction of propagation of light. Okay, so if you take electric field along the positive x, okay, if you take electric field along the positive x, then you can see E cross B will point in the negative direction. Okay, negative y direction. If you take E along the positive x, then E cross B will point in the negative j direction. But light is propagating in the positive y, which is why this cannot be right. Electric field must be in the negative x direction as of now. So if you do E cross B, then you can see that your thumb will point in the upward direction. That means C is the correct answer to this question. All right. Here, this is consider a uniform wire of mass m and length L. It is bent into a semicircle. Its moment of inertia about a line perpendicular to the plane of wire passing through the center is. So basically, let us say this is the semicircular wire. Okay, length of the wire is L. Okay, and the axis they have given is this. This is the axis of the wire. All right. Now we can say that we have to find the moment of inertia. So very easy question. Let us say radius of this wire is semicircle is r. So length will be equals to circumference, which is pi r. That means r becomes L by pi. All right. Now see, we can say that mass of the wire is m, and you know that even the semi ring has the moment of inertia of mr square, because each particle, if you look, this particle, this particle, this particle, this particle, each particle is at a distance of r from the center of the wire. So we can say that for every, like, if you imagine this semi ring as a collection of particles, so each particle will be at a distance of r. Hence, you can say that entire mass is at a distance of r from the axis. So moment of inertia can be simply written as mr square. Okay, and r is what? L by pi. So this will become ml square by pi square. So option A will be the correct answer for this question. I hope you would have understood. All right. Then we can say that the area of cross section of the wider tube shown in the figure is 800 centimeter square. So this area is 800 centimeter square. 12 kg mass is placed over here, and we have to find the difference in the height. Okay. Now see, if you look at this point, let us say this is the point B. Okay, and let us say this is the point A at the same horizontal level. Okay, so this I am taking at the same horizontal level. So clearly pressure at A and pressure at B must be equal, because in a static fluid the pressure at the same horizontal level must be equal. Okay, so if I write from this side, from the LHS side, so pressure at A can be written as pressure of atmosphere. So let's say P naught is the pressure of atmosphere plus H rho G. This will be the pressure at A. Okay, and if I write from the pressure on this side, so pressure at this point will be, look, here is the pressure of atmosphere, I mean just above the piston is the pressure of atmosphere, but because of this weight, if you go like from here to here, that means just below the piston, pressure will increase because of the weight. Okay, so basically mg force is going to increase the pressure. So you know how much pressure will increase? that will be mg upon area. Okay, mg upon area. So 12 into gravity upon area, that will be the value of the pressure at B. All right. So P0 will get cancelled, and the value of H will become 12 into gravity upon area is 800 into 10 to the power minus 4, and rho g. Rho is 1000, and gravity is g, which is 10 again. So 10 and 10 will get cancelled. This 0, 1, 2, 3 zeros will nullify this. So we will get 12 by 80 meters. And if you have to find the answer in centimeters, so you can multiply with double zero. This answer will now be in centimeters. This will come out to be 15 centimeter. Option C will be the correct answer to this question. I hope you would have understood. All right. Two satellites S1 and S2 with period of 1 hour and 8 hour respectively revolving around a planet in circular orbits. The ratio of angular velocity of satellite S1 to the angular velocity of satellite S2. Otherwise, you can't expect, like, it is a like painfully easy question, I will say. Basically, let's say there's a planet and there are satellites which are revolving in the time of 1 hour and 8 hours. Now, seriously, you can say that time period is nothing but 2 pi by omega. Okay, so time period is inversely proportional to omega. You can say that. That means omega of 1 upon omega of 2 will be is equals to inverse ratio of time period, that means t2 by t1. T2 was how much? 8, and t1 was 1. That means answer will be 8:1. I mean, this is very very easy question, guys. Like, really, I hope you would have done this. Okay, to what temperature should the hydrogen at 320 be cooled at constant pressure so that RMS velocity of its molecule becomes half of its previous value? So again, I guess this is a very easy question, formula based. Question is saying that only one thing you have to keep in mind, that you have to convert the temperature in Kelvin. So 327 degrees Celsius is nothing but 600 Kelvin, right? You have to add 273 here. So question is saying that at what temperature should the hydrogen, which is right now at 600 Kelvin, you should cool it at constant pressure so that RMS velocity becomes half of its previous value. Now this constant pressure is useless thing. Basically we can say that RMS speed is what? RMS speed is under root of 3 RT by m naught. Yes or no? Okay. So when temperature was 600 Kelvin, let us say the RMS value was V1. So V1 is the present RMS velocity, and that will be 3 into R into 600 by m naught, where m naught is the molar weight of hydrogen. Correct? Now let us say if we make the temperature T, so what should happen? The RMS speed should become half of this value. That means it should become V1 by 2, and let us say this happens at temperature T, which is what we have to evaluate. All right, so all you need to do is just take the ratio. So if I take the ratio, V1 upon V1 by 2 will become 2. Okay, 3R m naught will kill each other, and on the RHS you will get 600 upon T. Squaring it will make it 4 upon 600 by T. That means temperature will be 150 Kelvin. Remember, you have to report the answer in Celsius, so you have to deduct Celsius from this. So this will become how much? Minus 123 degrees Celsius. Okay, only thing you should have been careful about is converting to Kelvin and then coming back to Celsius for the final answer. All right, here what happens, there's a nucleus of mass 184 which initially emits alpha particle. If the Q value of the reaction is 5.5 MeV, then we have to calculate the kinetic energy of the alpha particle. All right, now look, this is a standard formula based question. The kinetic energy of the alpha particle can be directly written as mass of the nucleus which has been released. So let me first show you what is happening, and then I will tell you the formula. I'll also do this fundamentally, don't worry. So basically this is a nucleus. Okay, let's say this nucleus is X. Okay, its mass number is 184. Okay, and let's say its atomic number is Z. Now it emits a nucleus Y and plus an alpha particle. Now you know that alpha particle is helium nucleus, which is 2He4. That means here you will get Z minus 2, and here you will get 180. Okay, because of balancing of reaction, this should become 184 and this should become Z. So this is how the balancing of reaction will happen. Okay, now look, in this reaction we assume that this X was at rest. So what will happen? The Q value of this reaction, which is given as 5.5 MeV, will be distributed amongst the kinetic energy of Y and helium. So this Q value means the energy released in this reaction. Okay, Q value means the energy released in this reaction, that will appear as the kinetic energy of helium, that means alpha particle, and Y. Okay, now if you have to find the kinetic energy of alpha particle, the direct formula is the Q value multiplied by mass of the other nucleus, which is 180. Okay, 180 divided by total mass, which is 184. This is the direct formula. Suppose I wanted to find the kinetic energy of Y, then I would have used Q value multiplied by mass of this 4 divided by total mass. So basically what I'm doing, I'm for alpha particle, I'm using this mass in the numerator, and for kinetic energy of this Y, I'm using this mass in the numerator and multiplying this by the total Q value upon total mass. That is the idea. Okay, So this will give you the direct answer, 5.5 into 180 by 184. Okay, 180 by 184. So you can see that this will be nearly very close to 5.5 itself, just less than 5.5. So 5.38 if you calculate will be the correct answer. Okay, now let me show you fundamentally how do we get this formula. Okay, so if you want to know this, so basically look, let's say x was at rest. That is what we have to assume. X is at rest. If nothing is mentioned, then we assume the parent nucleus at rest. Okay, now when it breaks down, so look, its initial momentum was zero. Remember this point, its initial momentum was zero. That means final momentum should remain zero, just like, you know, projectile breaking question, bomb exploding question. So here the x was at rest. That means if this will break down, so you will get two nuclei. Let us say alpha particle is released and it moves in the leftward direction. Okay, and y nucleus is also released, which will move in right direction, with the equal magnitude of momentum. Why? Because the momentum must become zero again. So if the alpha particle is moving towards left with the momentum p, then y should move towards right with the momentum p, so that final momentum of the system is still zero, okay, according to the conservation of momentum. Okay, then next thing is that you know, total kinetic energy of kinetic energy of alpha particle plus kinetic energy of p will be equals to the energy released in this reaction. Whatever energy is released, that manifests in the form of kinetic energy of alpha particle plus kinetic energy of y. Sorry, this is not p, this is y. Okay, kinetic energy of y. All right, now look, there is one relation between kinetic energy and linear momentum, that kinetic energy is p square by twice the mass. Remember, kinetic energy of any particle can be written as momentum square upon twice the mass. So if I ask you what is the kinetic energy of alpha particle, so you will say that kinetic energy of alpha particle is momentum of alpha particle square divided by twice into mass of alpha particle. Okay, similarly if I ask you what is the kinetic energy of y, so you will say that p square upon twice the mass of y. So from here if you take the ratio ke alpha upon ke y, so this will become how much? Mass of y upon mass of alpha. Okay, so look, from here suppose I want to find the ke alpha. So what will I do? I will find the value of ke y as m alpha ke alpha, okay, divide by my. Look, right, now this value, what I will do, I will put in this equation. Okay, so the moment you do this, okay, the moment you do this, look, what will we get? Ke alpha plus ky is m alpha ke alpha divided by my, that is equals to q value. So from here you can see that if you take the LCM, so here my you will get, and this my will go in the RHS, and ke alpha will become my into q divided by my plus m alpha. That is what we are going to get. This was the formula that we were looking for, my into q divided by my plus m alpha. All right, so I hope you would have understood this. So this is the formula that I had used. Okay, let's move to the next question. Here what happens, for a simple microscope the angular size of the object equals the angular size of the image. Now this is correct because for a simple microscope, you know, if you remember, for a simple microscope it's nothing but a convex lens, and if you keep an object here, so when we use a convex lens as a microscope, it is ensured that the object is kept within the focus. Okay, suppose this is the first focus of the microscope or the convex lens, then it is ensured that the object is kept between the first focus and the optical center, so that the image is formed on this side. If you keep this towards the left, I mean if you keep it here, object, if you keep it here, then the image will be formed on the other side. Okay, so in this case what happens, image is formed like this, and this if you join, so this is the theta, this angle is called as theta. Okay, so this theta is nothing but the angular size of the object also and angular size of the image also, which is what the statement 1 is saying. Magnification is achieved, that means statement 1 is correct. Magnification is achieved as the small object can be kept much closer to the eye than 25 centimeter, and hence it subtends a larger angle. Of course it is right, because so see, look, basically when you are looking using the microscope, so eventually you will be looking at this image. Okay, eventually you will be looking at this image, this is the image, this is the object. Okay, now see what happens is that if you're looking at this image, so this image should be beyond the least distance of distinct vision. That means this distance should be more than d, then only the image will be clearly visible to you. Okay, because if you bring it less than d, then this of image will not be of course visible to you. But for to get the image here, we can still keep the object closer to the we can say the lens, which means this theta will increase. If you bring this object closer to the lens, you can see that this theta will increase, and if this theta increases, that means angular magnification increases. Okay, so the idea here is that eventually we are looking at the image, and which is why image can still go beyond the capital D with the object kept close to the lens, and which will increase the value of theta, and the eye will also the image will also be visible to us because it will be formed beyond D, which is why statement 2 is also correct. Hence we can say that both these statements are correct. All right. This question, electron is moving in a circular path around a stationary neutron, and because of the gravitational interaction. That means imagine that this is the circuit in which orbit, not circuit, in which electron is revolving, and let us say this is the neutron. The mass of the neutron is capital M and the mass of the electron is small m. Okay. We have to find the minimum possible value of de Broglie wavelength, and Bohr's quantization rule is applicable. Now look, the we can say that the de Broglie wavelength is lambda is equals to h upon mb. So minimum lambda will occur when velocity will be maximum. That means we will try to maximize the velocity of the electron. All right. Now look, the gravitational attraction between the between the electron and the neutron, which will be g into m by radius square, that will be equals to providing this required centripetal force to the electron to move in the circular orbit. So that you can write as mv square by r. Okay, this is the centripetal force. Mv square by r will be because of the gravitational pull of neutron. So from here m and m gets cancelled, one factor of r gets cancelled, so we get gm is equals to v square into r. Okay. Now second, we can write the quantization rule. So that will be mvr is equals to n into h upon 2 pi. All right. So from here the value of r comes out to be nh upon 2 pi mv. Okay. Now this value we can put back, we can put over here. So g into capital M will be v square into r, which is nh upon 2 pi mv. Okay. So from here we can say that the value of one factor of v gets cancelled, and you can see the value of v comes out to be g into m into small m into 2 pi upon n into h. This is the value of v we are getting. Now look, if you remember, I said that we have to maximize the value of v in order to minimize lambda. So v will be maximum if n is minimum, and minimum value of n is definitely 1. So that means we can say that maximum value of v is how much? Maximum value of v is g into m into 2 pi upon h, and this value you can put over here. So lambda minimum will be h upon small m into g into m into 2 pi by h. So answer will be h square upon 2 pi gmm. I think option 1 itself is matching perfectly. Okay. So no, sorry, option, in my option we are getting m square, here it is m, so this is not correct. Here h square upon 2 pi gm, this is matching perfectly. Okay, this is wrong, so I hope you would have understood. The velocity of a real object along the principal axis at an instant is 4 times the velocity of the virtual image for a lens at rest. Then the ratio of the focal length to the object distance is. In this question, it has been given that velocity of the real object along the principal axis at an instant is 4 times the velocity of the virtual image for a lens at rest. Then the ratio of the focal length to the object distance is. Now see, here we can say that that velocity of the image upon velocity of the object is 1 by 4, right? Because they have been given that velocity of the real object along the principal axis at an instant is 4 times the velocity of the virtual image. Now let's understand that the lens equation is 1 by v minus 1 by u is equals to 1 by f. Okay, so if I differentiate this, so I will get minus 1 by v square dv by dt. Okay, and this will become plus 1 by u square du by dt. Focal length will not change with respect to time. Okay, so focal length is a constant, so it will be derivative of the focal length will become 0, df by dt will become 0. So basically it is saying that suppose here is some lens. Okay, now I don't know whether it's a convex lens or a concave lens, but the idea here is that if the object moves, let us say object moves, okay, so distance u will change. This distance is called as u, so u will change, and let us say the image is formed. So here they are saying that object is real. Okay, here they are saying that object is real, that means u must be negative, and they are saying that image is also virtual. Image is virtual image means that image will be formed on the left hand side. Real image means that image will be formed on the right hand side for a lens. So we can say that image is formed on the left hand side because it's a virtual image. So image is also on the left side and object is also on the left side. So this distance is v. So if the object distance changes, the image distance will also change. All right. So the rate of change of image distance will be called as velocity of the image, and the rate of change of object distance will be called as velocity of the object. That means this will become the velocity of the object. Okay, and this will become the velocity of the image. Okay, you can bring this on the LHS. Sorry, this you can bring this side. So you can say that this is the velocity of the object, upon u square is equals to, this is the velocity of the image, upon v square. And as I said, v square by u square will be vi by vo. Okay, vi by vo, right? And this was given as 1 by 4. That means from here, v by u will become half or plus minus half. Now, as I said, u and v both are having the same sign. Look, they are both having the negative sign, which means that v by u will be a positive quantity. So you will take plus half, minus half will be rejected, which means v becomes u by 2. All right. Now again, using the Lenz's formula, 1 by v minus 1 by u is equals to 1 by f. So if I put v as u by 2 here, so this will become 2 by u minus 1 by u is equals to 1 by f. All right. So from here you can see that this becomes 1 by u is equals to 1 by f. That means f upon u becomes what? 1. So answer will be 1:1. Also note that since u is negative, which means f is also negative. Hence it must have been a concave lens. Okay. I hope you would have understood. In this question, what happens is that there is an object which is of block is of mass m, and this is the massless cord, and this is the wheel which we can treat like a disc, and this is of radius r. Okay. The moment of inertia of this wheel about the centroidal axis is I. That means this axis passing through center of mass is I. So question is that when the block m descends by height h, then what will be the square of omega of the wheel? Very easy question. You can do this by many methods. You can write force torque equation, or easier method will be energy conservation. Look, the loss in the potential energy, which is mgh, okay, will convert to kinetic energy of the block plus kinetic energy of the wheel. Because look, right now the kinetic energy of the wheel is 0 because it is at rest, and block is also at rest. So we can say that whatever potential energy loss happens, that a part of it goes into the kinetic energy of the block and the energy of the wheel. So let us say when the block reaches over here, so we can say that, let us say the block is moving at the speed v, and the wheel is rotating at the angular velocity omega. So we will write half mv square plus, this is the kinetic energy of the block, plus half I omega square. All right. Now using the condition that v will be equals to r omega, the velocity of the block will be equals to r omega. Okay, constraint relation. Basically, the speed at which this block is going down is the speed of this point also. The rate at which this point is coming down is the rate at which the block is going down, and this point is moving at r omega in the downward direction. So v you can write r omega. Hence this will become half m r square omega square plus half I omega square is equals to mgh. Okay, so this half you can take in the LHS. Okay, this will become 2 mgh. So basically this will become 2 mgh upon mr square plus I. That will be the value of omega square. Okay, 2 mgh upon mr square plus I. So that means option D is correct. All right. I think this is an easy question and you would have done that. Here what is happening, consider a situation in which the reverse bias current of a PN junction increases when it is exposed to a light of wavelength 621 nanometer. During this process, enhancement in the carrier concentration takes place due to the generation of 4 electron pair. The value of band gap is nearly. So this question is from semiconductors. In case you would have understood this question, what is happening here, then you would have done this. It's a very easy question, just that you would have understood it. So here what is happening is that, suppose this is a semiconductor. Okay. Now you know that in a semiconductor, this is the conduction band. Okay, and here's the valence band. Okay, and the energy difference between these two is called band gap. Okay, band gap between conduction and valence band. Okay, now look, basically they are saying that if you are throwing the light of wavelength less than 621 or less, basically 621 or less, then electron hole pair is getting formed. That means electrons from here are able to jump to the conduction band. So if electrons reach here, then what will happen? Here the hole will be created, and here the electron will be created. So electron hole pairs will be are getting formed. This happens if the light has a wavelength less than or equal to 621 nanometer. That means you can say that, so that electron can at least jump here. Let's first calculate what is the energy of this wavelength. Okay, so energy of a photon is 1242 divided by wavelength in nanometer. So you can see that this becomes 2 electron volt. That means if at least 2 electron volt energy, if at least 2 electron volt energy photon falls, then the electron will be able to make this transition, right? Hence we can say that band gap will be 2 electron volt, because if the energy of the photon falls below 2 electron volt, then the electron will not be able to make this transition. That means we can say that band gap must have been 2 electron volt. That is what is the idea. If the energy of the photon is more than 2 electron volt, that will happen when the wavelength is less than 621. So then also the 2 electron will make transition even easily. All right. So I hope you would have Understood. Then here what happens? The time period of a simple pendulum inside a lift when it is stationary is t. If the lift is moving upward with an acceleration g by 2, then what is the time period? So look, suppose this is the lift. Okay, suppose this is the lift, and when the lift is stationary, then this time period is t. Now you know that time period can be written as 2 pi root of length of the pendulum upon gravity. All right. Now when the lift starts accelerating at the value g by 2, okay, when the lift starts accelerating at the value g by 2, then what happens? Then the g effective inside the lift will become g plus a. That means this will become 3g by 2, right? So now the effective value of the time period t dash will be how much? 2 pi root of l by g effective, which is what? Which is 3g by 2. Okay. So basically, if I take the ratio t dash by t, so t dash by t will be what? This 2 pi will kill each other. Lg. Okay. So this will become root of 2 by 3. All right. That means t dash will be under root of 2 by 3 t. Option A will be the correct answer for this question. I think you would have done this. Again, a very easy formula based question. Easy kill 4 marks. All right. Let us see this question here. The vessel of volume 8.3 liters. So in this question, there is a vessel of volume 8.3 liters, which contains a mixture of ideal gases at temperature 300 Kelvin. Okay. So we have 0.1 mole of nitrogen, 0.2 mole of oxygen, and 0.3 mole of CO2. We have to find the pressure in the multiple of 10 to the power 5, and we have to find the effective molecular weight of the mixture. Again, I think even if you have studied chemistry, then also you would have done this question. And if you have studied physics, then also you would have done this question. So let's first find the pressure. So look, if you see the total volume of the container is 8.3, pressure we can find using PV is equals to nRT. Okay, so volume of the total container is 8.3 liters, but it is in liters. So in meter cube, you have to convert this by multiplying 10 to the power minus 3. 1 liter is 10 to the power minus 3 meter cube. Total moles is 0.1 plus 0.2 plus 0.3, that means 0.6. Okay, R is gas constant, which is 8.3. Temperature is 300. Now you can see that this 8.3 will get cancelled. Pressure, you can bring this towards right. So 6 into 300 will become 180. 6.6 into 300 will become 180, and this will become 1000. So you can see that this will be 1.8 into 10 to the power 5. That means pressure will be 1.8 in the multiple of 10 to the power 5. Hence only option C is right. You don't even need to find the molecular weight. But let's just find this. Okay. So molecular weight we can find will be what? Total mass upon total moles, right? So molecular weight, which, or you can also say molar weight, will be total mass upon total moles. Total mass is how much? Total mass is 0.1 into mass of like if you see how much is the mass of nitrogen present. So nitrogen is 0.1 moles. That means 0.1 into 28. This is the mass of nitrogen present, because 28 is the molar weight of nitrogen. Then 0.2 mole of oxygen. That means 0.2 into 32. 32 is the, in the grams I'm talking about. In the grams, this is the molar weight of oxygen. And for carbon dioxide, molar weight is 44. CO2, C is 12 and oxygen is 32 O2. That means this will be 44. So 0.3 into 44. All right, this is the total mass of the gas present, and divide by the total moles. Okay, so you see this, what does this become? This becomes 2.8 plus this will become 6.4, and this will become 14 12 plus 1.2 13.2. That means upon 0.6. So what will this become? 13 plus 6 19 plus 2 21, and this will become 22.4. 22.4 upon 0.6. That means this becomes 224 upon 6. So 2 into 3, 2 into 112. So we get 112 by 3, which is nothing, the 37.3. So option C is the correct answer for this question. All right. Here what happens, there is a bullet which is fired normally to an immovable wooden plank. It loses 25% of its speed in penetrating 7 centimeter thickness of the plank. What is the total distance, total thickness penetrated by the bullet? So let us say this is the bullet. Okay. Let us say that it enters the wooden plank. So this is the bullet and this is the plank. It enters at the speed u0. Now after moving through the 7 centimeters, okay, 7 centimeters, it loses 25% of the speed. That means its speed becomes 3 u0 by 4, because 25% means u0 by 4, 1 by 4 basically. So if it has lost 25% of the speed, that means its speed becomes 3 u0 by 4. So using the v square is equals to u square plus twice as. Okay, so here the v becomes 3 u0 by 4 square is equals to u0 square plus twice into acceleration into displacement is 7 centimeters. All right, so from here you can see this becomes 9 by 16 u0 square, and minus u0 square will be 2as. All right, so as is 7 centimeters. So this becomes minus of how much? 7 u naught square by 16. Okay, that will be 2a into 7 centimeters. Okay, so 7 and 7 will get cancelled. That means minus u naught square by 16 will be 2a centimeters basically. Now look, here you can understand that the value of a is negative because it is retarding. Basically acceleration is in the leftward direction, which is why this a is negative. Okay, now question is asking that at what distance the bullet will stop. So let us say bullet reaches till here and this distance is L. Okay, which is what we have to calculate. Okay, so here the velocity of the bullet becomes 0. So here you can put b as 0 in this equation. So v will be 0, u was u naught, and then 2 2 into a into displacement will become L. Okay, now the value of 2a is minus u naught square by 16. So this becomes u naught square minus u naught square by 16 into L. Okay, so you can see that L becomes 16 centimeters. Okay, this will be in the centimeters. So option B will be the correct answer for this question. All right, I think this so you would have definitely done because this is a very easy question. In fact, this type of question has been very frequent also in the JEE. All right, here what happens, position of the center of mass of a uniform semicircular wire of radius r placed in the xy plane with its center at the origin and the line joining its end as x-axis given by. This is a ludicrous question, that means laughable question. Basically they are asking you the center of mass of a uniform ring. Now I think all of you know this, semicircular wire or semicircular ring center of mass is at a distance of 2r by pi. So here let's say this is the x-axis and let's say this is the y-axis. Okay, so this is the origin. So here is the center of mass and we know that this distance is 2r by pi, standard result. That means this x will become 2. All right, so I mean hoping that you would have done this question, very easy question. Okay, now here what happens, there is a parallel plate capacitor which has a plate area of 100 meter square and plate separation is 10. The space between the plate is filled up to a thickness of 5 meter with the material of dielectric constant 10. The resultant capacitance we have to find, we have to ignore the fringing effects. Fringing effects means the edge effects basically. So effectively we have to assume that the area of the plate is very large than the plate separation. So basically what happens here is that let's say this is the capacitor. Okay, and this is the dielectric that has been placed. Okay, so this is the dielectric. All right, and dielectric constant is 10. So here it is 10. All right, so this distance is 5 meters. This thickness of the dielectric is 5 meters. Now we all know that in such a situation we can treat two capacitors. One is of dielectric 10 and one is vacuum. Let us say this is C1 and this is C2. So we know that 1 upon C equivalent will be equals to 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 because we can treat capacitors in series. Okay, so if I put the formula here, so 1 upon C will be equals to 1 upon C1. C1 is how much? C1 is K epsilon naught A by D. This is the value of C1. Okay, and C2 will be equals to epsilon naught A by D because C2 is the vacuum capacitor, so K will be 1 here. Okay, now D is what? D is this thickness. Okay, because for the C1 the thickness is 5 and for the C2 also thickness is 5. So you will write D as 5, K as 10. Okay, epsilon naught the value we will put later on. A is how much? 100. Okay, then here also you will put D as 5, epsilon naught into A as 100. All right, so from here you can see that this becomes 1 upon 200 epsilon naught plus this becomes 1 upon 20 epsilon naught. Okay, so if I take the LCM then this will become 10 and this will become 200, right? So this will become 200. Okay, so that means this becomes 11 upon 200 epsilon naught. This is the value of C. So C becomes 200 by 11 into 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12. Okay, this is in the farad. In the picofarad, this value will become 200 into 8.85. I mean, in the picofarad, this will just go because you have to multiply with the 10 to the power 12, which will cancel this. So in the picofarad, this will become 200 into 8.85 upon 11. Now this you can write as 885 into 2 upon 11. So this becomes how much? 5 to the 10, 8 to the 16 plus 117, and 8 to the 16 plus 117, 177 by 11, 1770 by 11. So 11 into 1, this will be 1 ja, 676 ja, 10. So 160.9 nearly. So you can say that this will be 161 approximately. All right. Then the electric field in a region is given by this value where E naught is a constant. The flux through this field through rectangular surface parallel to the YZ plane. Okay, this type of question also you would have seen are quite frequent. So let's say this is the this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. Okay, and towards us is the z-axis. Now you can imagine a surface which is parallel to the YZ plane. Okay, then the I component of the electric field, I component of electric field is coming towards us. Okay, I component of electric field is coming towards us, which is 2 by 5 E naught. Okay, so basically the flux will be happening just because of the I component. The J component will not create any electric flux because J component, you can see, is perpendicular to the area vector of the surface. Area vector is, you can say, along the x-axis. Okay, so J component of the field is perpendicular to the area vector, which is why we can say that only I component will create the flux. So what is the value of the flux now? 2 E naught by 5 into the area, which is how much? Which is 0.4. Okay, now you can put the value of E naught. So 2 by 5 into E naught is 4000, you can see, and this is into 0.4. So how much we are getting? So 5 into 1, 5 into 8, 100. This becomes 80 into 2 into 4. So 4 2s are 8, 8 ja 64. So I think 640 will be the correct answer to this question. All right. So in this question, what happens? There is a block of mass root 3 kg which is kept on a rough horizontal surface. The coefficient of friction is 3 root 3. We have to find the critical force which, when applied at an angle of 60 degrees, so this force we are talking about, such that the block is just about to move. So you can say that very simple question. This is favorite question for many of you because mechanics is favorite for many of you. So you can see that key, we have to find the critical value of this force. All right. So again, let's take the component of this force. So x component will be F cos 60, which is F by 2, and the y component, notice, is in the downward direction, which will be F sin 60, which is F root 3 by 2. Okay, now of course this block cannot move in the vertical direction, which means normal reaction upward will be equals to mg downward plus F root 3 by 2, right? M is what? M is root 3 into gravity plus F into root 3 by 2. This is the value of normal reaction. Okay, that means how much is the limiting friction, how much is the friction available? So friction available is mu into normal reaction. Mu is 1 by 3 root 3 into root 3 gravity. Root 3 gravity is 10. Okay, plus F into root 3 by 2. Now what you can do, you can cut root 3. So khachak khachak khachak. So you can see that friction we are getting, limiting friction that we are getting is how much? It will be equal to 10 by 3. Okay, plus F by 6. This much is the friction available. So that means if this horizontal component of the force becomes equal to the friction, so friction clearly will be acting towards the right hand side. So if the horizontal component of the force F by 2 becomes equal to this friction 10 by 3 plus F by 6, then block will be on the verge of sliding. Okay, this is the maximum force which we can apply so that block does not move. Okay, so basically this becomes F by 2 minus F by 6 will be equal to 10 by 3. Multiply the whole equation by 6. So if you multiply this by 6, so this will become 3f, this will become f, and this will become 20. So 2f is equals to 20, so f is equals to 10. Okay, and this value is coming out to be 3x. So I think I have done some calculation or what? Let me see. So friction will be mu into n. Mu is 1 by 3 root 3 into n will be root 3 into gravity. Gravity is 10 plus f sine 60, f root 3 by 2. Root 3 gets cancelled, so this becomes 10 by 3 plus f by 6. This is right. And the horizontal component of the force is f by 2. So f by 2 will be 10 by 3 plus f by 6, which is also right. So f by 2 minus f by 6. F by 2 minus f by 6 is how much? Should be equal to 10 by 3. If I multiply this by 6, so 6 by 2 is 3, 6 by 6 is 1, and 6 by 3, this should be 20. So that's also right. So that means 2f should be equal to 20, so f should be equal to 10. All right. Yeah, so I think they are saying that this value should be 3x, so x should be 3.33. Yeah, so correct only. I thought that x will be an integer, but correct only. So 3x should be equal to 10. That means x should be equal to 3.33 only. Okay, so I was unnecessarily doubting myself. Okay, so this will be the correct answer. All right. A wire of mass 100 grams carrying a current of 2 ampere towards increasing x in the form of y equals to x square. The wire is placed in a magnetic field of minus 0.02 Tesla k cap, the magnitude of acceleration. So what is the situation? Let us say that this is the x-axis, let us say this is the y-axis, and z-axis is coming towards us. Okay, then what is the situation here? So situation here is that wire will be wire is y equals to x square. That means it's a smiling wire. You know, this is a smiling parabola, and the magnetic field is going in the screen. Okay, magnetic field is going in the screen, and look, this x coordinate is -2. Okay, this x coordinate is -2, and this y coordinate is also, sorry, this x coordinate is +2. So wire exists between -2 and +2. Let's say this is the point A. Let's say this is the point B. Magnetic field is going in the screen because it is minus k cap. Okay, now we have to find the acceleration. So remember, we can first find the force applied by the magnetic field on this wire. this wire also carries the 2 ampere current in this direction, okay, from A to B. Okay, that means we can say that if you remember, any curved wire can be replaced by a straight line wire in a constant magnetic field. So that means we can replace this whole curve by a straight wire like this. Okay, and that means the current will be going like this. Okay, now to find the force, you can use I into L cross B, right? L vector is this vector which is this along the I cap, and magnetic field is going in the screen. Okay, magnetic field is going in the screen. So basically you can directly understand that the magnitude of F will be I into L into B into sine 90. Okay, where L will be this length. Okay, L will be this length. Now current here is how much? 2 ampere. This length becomes 4 because this is minus 2 and this is plus 2. So total length of this will become 4. Magnetic field will be 0.02 magnitude wise. Okay, sine 90 is 1. So this is the magnitude of the force. Okay, and direction of the force will be up. You can check out the direction by using L cross B. L vector is towards right, magnetic field is going in the screen. So L cross B will be pointing up. That means this is the direction of the force. Okay, now how much this becomes? So this becomes 4 to the 8 into 16, so 0.16 Newton. Okay, and the mass of the wire is 100 gram, that means 0.1 kg. So we can say that acceleration will be 0.16 upon 0.1, that means 1.6 meter per second square. Okay, so this will be the value of the acceleration. I hope you would have understood. Thank you. All right.
This question is actually based on identifying Z nomenclature in geometrical isomers. यहाँ पे 4 कंपाउंड दिए हुए हैं, इसमें बोला है कि Z कॉन्फ़िगरेशन किसका होगा। हम सबको पता है कि यदि सिमिलर प्रायोरिटी के ग्रुप यदि डबल बॉन्ड के सेम साइड में हो तो वो Z होता है, अपोजिट साइड में हो तो E होता है। तो सारे ऑप्शंस एक बार चेक करने पड़ेंगे। लाइक इन दोनों में बात करेंगे तो ये आपका 1 प्रायोरिटी है, ये 2 प्रायोरिटी है। 1 इसलिए है क्योंकि ऑक्सीजन के बाद थर्ड पोजीशन पे 1 2 सेकंड पोजीशन पे कार्बन है, यहाँ पे सेकंड पोजीशन पे यहाँ पे थर्ड पोजीशन पे ऑक्सीजन है, यहाँ पे थर्ड पोजीशन पे कार्बन है। एक्चुअली लाइक 1 2 एंड थर्ड पोजीशन पे कार्बन आ रहा है, यहाँ पे 1 2 थर्ड पोजीशन पे ऑक्सीजन आ रहा है, वो एक डिफरेंस क्रिएट कर रहा है। तो ये 1 हो गया। ऐसे इन दोनों में बात करेंगे तो ये 1 होगा, क्योंकि इसके अंदर जब आप लॉ ऑफ मल्टीप्लिकेशन लगा के 3 कार्बन में स्प्लिट करोगे ना ऐसे, ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे और एक्स्ट्रा कार्बन आ जाएंगे लॉ ऑफ मल्टीप्लिकेशन का रूल लगाते हुए। CIP रूल आप एक बार रेफर करना। तो ये 1 हो गया, ये 1 हो गया, अपोजिट साइड में है तो E कन्फिगरेशन हो गया। सेम रूल लगाते हुए ये 1 हो गया, ये 2 हो गया, यहाँ पे एक एक्स्ट्रा ऑक्सीजन होने की वजह से ये 1 हो गया और ये 2 हो गया। 1 और 1 सेम साइड में है तो Z हो गया, यानी हमारा आंसर आ गया। ऑलराइट, यहाँ पे बात करेंगे, यहाँ पे जो की एटम है ये वाला कार्बन एटम, ये वाला कार्बन एटम, यहाँ से एक H और एक C लगा है, और यहाँ से एक H और एक C और एक C लगा है, यानी 2 C लगे हुए हैं। तो इसका प्रायोरिटी हो गया 1 और इसका प्रायोरिटी हो गया 1, ये भी आपका E फॉर्म हो गया। इसमें बात करेंगे, इसका प्रायोरिटी है 1, इसका प्रायोरिटी है 2, और यहाँ जब आप लॉ ऑफ मल्टीप्लिकेशन लगाओगे, CH डबल बॉन्ड O है, तो यहाँ पे 2 ऑक्सीजन इस कार्बन से कनेक्टेड होंगे, तो 1 हो गया, ये 2 हो गया, 1 और 1 अपोजिट साइड में है, ये भी E कन्फिगरेशन हो गया। सो योर करेक्ट आंसर इज B। ऑलराइट, एक और इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन जहाँ पे ऑर्गेनिक रिएक्शन एक डिस्प्लेड है आपके स्क्रीन पे, आपको बताना है इन चारों ऑप्शन में से कौन सा ऑप्शन एग्जैक्टली करेक्ट है। तो ये बेसिकली ट्राई इथाइल ऑर्थोफॉर्मेट है, एक्राइल एल्डिहाइड से रिएक्शन कराया है एसिडिक मीडियम में, और ये यहाँ पे बेसिकली एसिटल फॉर्मेशन हो गया है एंड इथाइल फॉर्मेट बाहर निकल गया है। तो चलिए ऑप्शंस पे चले जाते हैं सीधे सीधे, कौन सा करेक्ट ऑप्शन है ये बताना है। दिस इज अ काइंड ऑफ रीअरेंजमेंट रिएक्शन। रीअरेंजमेंट तो नहीं है, रीअरेंजमेंट में तो एक ही कंपाउंड के अंदर कोई एटम अपनी पोजीशन को इंटरचेंज करता है, एक्सचेंज करता है, तो रीअरेंजमेंट नहीं है, ये गलत हो गया। दिस इज एन ऑक्सीडेशन रिडक्शन रिएक्शन, किसी भी एटम का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर चेंज नहीं हो रहा है, तो ये रिडॉक्स रिएक्शन भी नहीं है। दिस इज नॉट एन एसिटल एक्सचेंज रिएक्शन, एसिटल एक्सचेंज रिएक्शन भी नहीं हो रही है, क्योंकि ये आपका ऑर्थोफॉर्मेट है, ये आपका एसिटल है, तो एसिटल एक्सचेंज रिएक्शन नहीं है। दिस इज सपोर्टेड बाय एंट्रोपी as compared to conventional acetal formation। ओके, कन्वेंशनल एसिटल फॉर्मेशन से बेटर एंट्रोपी चेंज है। यहाँ पे 2 मॉलिक्यूल रिएक्ट करता है और 2 मॉलिक्यूल बनता है, तो एंट्रोपी में चेंज नहीं हो रहा है एक तरह से देखा जाए तो। जबकि जो एसिटल फॉर्मेशन होते हैं उसमें 2 एल्कोहल मॉलिक्यूल होते हैं, एक एल्डिहाइड कीटोन होता है और उससे एसिटल बनने के साथ एक वाटर बनता है। यानी जब आप एसिटल बनाते हो, जैसे मान लो CH3CHO प्लस ETOH के 2 मॉलिक्यूल इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ H प्लस, इट फॉर्म CH3CHOET प्लस वाटर, राइट। तो यहाँ पे 3 मॉलिक्यूल गया और 2 मॉलिक्यूल बना, तो एंट्रोपी घट गया। तो ये बेसिकली एंट्रोपी का घटना जो है एक तरह से नेगेटिव होता है रिएक्शन के लिए, तो एंट्रोपी सपोर्टेड नहीं है, तो इसके कंपैरिजन में बेटर एंट्रोपी सपोर्टेड रिएक्शन है। दैट्स अ गुड क्वेश्चन। ऑलराइट, तो डी ऑप्शन आपका करेक्ट ऑप्शन हो गया। इस क्वेश्चन में आपको 4 स्टेटमेंट दिख रहे हैं और इसमें आपको बताना है इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट कौन सा है। ऑलराइट, इन क्रोमिल क्लोराइड टेस्ट फॉर्मेशन ऑफ क्रोमिल क्लोराइड इज अ नॉन रिडॉक्स चेंज। यस, ये बिल्कुल करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है, क्योंकि क्रोमिल क्लोराइड टेस्ट में K2Cr27 जहाँ पे क्रोमियम का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर +6 होता है, वो क्रोमिल क्लोराइड में कन्वर्ट होता है CrO2Cl2 में, वहाँ भी ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर क्रोमियम का +6 होता है, तो रिडॉक्स रिएक्शन नहीं है ये। ब्राउन रिंग टेस्ट ऑफ NO2- कैन बी डन इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ NO3- बट रिवर्स इज नॉट ट्रू, ये भी सही है। देखिए, नाइट्राइट आयन को हम लोग डाइल्यूट एसिड से डिटेक्ट करते हैं, कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड एसिड से करेंगे तो भी चलेगा, क्योंकि जो डाइल्यूट से टेस्ट दे देते हैं वो कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड से भी दे देंगे, लेकिन जो नाइट्रेट आयन है वो डाइल्यूट से टेस्ट नहीं देगा। नाइट्रेट आयन का जो गैसियस प्रोडक्ट बेसिकली बनता है जब हम एसिड डालते हैं, वो उसके लिए कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड एसिड चाहिए होता है, तो इसलिए ये करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है। क्रोमेट एंड डाइक्रोमेट कैन बी इंटरचेंज बाय मॉडिफाइंग टेम्परेचर, ये गलत है। एक्चुअली ये पीएच कंट्रोल रिएक्शन है। अगर आप एसिडिफिकेशन करोगे तो आपको डाइक्रोमेट मिलेगा, अगर आप बेसिफिकेशन करोगे तो आपको क्रोमेट मिलेगा। तो पीएच कंट्रोल से ये रिएक्शन इंटरचेंज रिएक्शन पॉसिबल है, तो ये स्टेटमेंट गलत है, लिहाजा यही आपका आंसर हो गया। ऑप्शन डी की बात करें तो बोरेट कैन बी डिटेक्टेड बाय यूजिंग CaF2 along with H2SO4 विदाउट टचिंग द फ्लेम। यस, CaF2 की प्रेजेंस में जब आप बोरेट को लेके जाते हो तो ये BF3 में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है, और इसको आप एक्चुअली एथेनॉल से रिएक्शन कराओगे तो ट्राई इथाइल बोरेट बनेगा जो ग्रीन एज फ्लेम से जलता है। तो ट्राई इथाइल बोरेट जो बनता है, दिस बर्न्स विद ग्रीन एज्ड फ्लेम। तो फ्लेम के एज के कलर से आप आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हो, टच करने की जरूरत नहीं है, तो ये भी एक करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है, तो आपका आंसर हो गया सी। ऑलराइट, थर्मोडायनेमिक्स का एक सुंदर सा सवाल। 2 moles ऑफ हीलियम गैस अंडरगो द रिवर्सिबल साइक्लिक प्रोसेस एज शोन इन द फिगर, assume gas to be ideal, what is the net work involved in the cyclic process। तो साइक्लिक प्रोसेस में आपको पीटी डायग्राम दिया हुआ है, टोटल वर्क डन बताना है। ठीक है, तो नेट वर्क W टोटल इज इक्वल टू WAB प्लस WBC प्लस WCD प्लस WDA। ए बी आप देख सकते हो एक आइसोथर्मल प्रोसेस है, और ये कंप्रेशन हो रहा है। वैसे तो आप कंप्रेशन एक्सपेंशन से कोई मतलब नहीं है। एनआरटी 300 हो गया टेम्परेचर, ln P1/P2 1/2 हो गया, प्लस WBC, BC एक आइसोबैरिक प्रोसेस है। आइसोबैरिक प्रोसेस में देखो वर्क डन जो होता है, वर्क डन को -PdV होता है। -PdV को क्या मैं लिख सकता हूँ, -nRdt। ठीक है, तो -nRdt लिखोगे तो -nR सीधे सीधे लिख लो, और dt का मतलब कितना टेम्परेचर हुआ, T2 - T1 100, प्लस WCD अगेन आइसोथर्मल एक्सपेंशन है, तो मैं लिख सकता हूँ -nRT, इस बार टेम्परेचर है 400, ln P1/P2 मीन्स 2/1, एंड प्लस WDA हो जाएगा -nR इंटू T2 - T1 में -100 हो जाएगा। ऑलराइट, तो ये और ये तो कैंसिल हो गया, तो ये आपका आ गया -nR इंटू ln 1/2, बल्कि ये काम करते हैं n/2 को भी ln 2 के टर्म्स में लिख लो, तो ये हो गया nR इंटू 300 ln 2, और वो हो गया आपका -nR इंटू 400 ln 2, तो ये आपका आ जाएगा -100 nR ln 2। चेक ऐसा कोई आंसर है? n की वैल्यू है 2, जस्ट अ मिनट, n की वैल्यू 2 है, तो बस n की वैल्यू रख दो आप, -100 इंटू 2R ln 2 विच कैन बी रिटन एज -100R ln 4। सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी योर फाइनल आंसर, जो कि ऑप्शन ए में दिया हुआ है। गुड क्वेश्चन। अगर आपको वर्क डन निकालने का फॉर्मूला पता है तो इजीली इस प्रोसेस में वर्क डन आप निकाल सकते हो। ऑलराइट, आयनिक इक्विलिब्रियम और रिडॉक्स प्रोसेस को मिक्स करके इक्वेशन दिया है। 40 ml ऑफ सॉल्यूशन ऑफ ऑक्सैलिक एसिड रिक्वायर 16 ml ऑफ 0.5 मोलर एसिडिफाइड KMnO4, कैलकुलेट pH ऑफ 2x मोलर सॉल्यूशन ऑफ ऑक्सैलिक एसिड। तो पहले आपको ऑक्सैलिक एसिड का मोलैरिटी निकालना है, देन उसको आप एक मोनोबेसिक एसिड की तरह ट्रीट करके आप सिंपली pH निकाल सकते हो। ऑलराइट, तो सबसे पहले मैं लिख सकता हूँ इक्विवेलेंस या मिली इक्विवेलेंस भी लगा सकते हो। यस, मिली इक्विवेलेंस ऑफ ऑक्सैलिक एसिड इज इक्वल टू मिली इक्विवेलेंस ऑफ KMnO4। ठीक है, N1B1 N2B2 भी बोल सकते हो। ऑक्सैलिक एसिड की मोलैरिटी है x इंटू इसका n फैक्टर होगा 2, इसका वॉल्यूम है 40, मिली इक्विवेलेंट ऑफ KMnO4 हो गया आपका 16 इंटू 0.05 इंटू इसका n फैक्टर है 5। ऑलराइट, तो यहाँ से आपको x पता पड़ गया। ठीक है, x आपने निकाल लिया, कितना हो जाएगा x निकाल सकते हैं, कोई खास बात नहीं है। तो 82 2 कैंसिल हो गया, 0.05 आ गया। मुझे एक्चुअली निकालना है पीएच ऑफ एक्वा सॉल्यूशन ऑफ 2x मोलर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ ऑक्सैलिक एसिड, राइट। तो मैं डायरेक्टली फॉर्मूला लगा देता हूँ, एच आयन कॉन्सेंट्रेशन इज इक्वल टू अंडर रूट के इंटू सी। के मुझे दिया है फर्स्ट डिग्री ऑफ फर्स्ट डिसोसिएशन कांस्टेंट ही यूज करेंगे, और सी की वैल्यू है 0.05 इंटू 2, तो 0.1 हो गई, ये हो गया आपका 10 रेज़ टू द पावर -2। ऑलराइट, कैसे लिखना है आंसर को? हाँ, ये हो गया आपका 10 रेज़ टू द पावर -4, तो एच आयन कॉन्सेंट्रेशन इज 10 पावर -2, तो pH इज इक्वल टू 2, so your option A is going to be the correct option. All right, ये क्वेश्चन बेसिकली बॉन्डिंग के फैक्ट पे या केमिकल कंपाउंड के फैक्ट के बेसिस पे सॉल्व करना है। क्वेश्चन के अंदर बताना है आपको कौन कौन से स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट नहीं है। लाइक पहला है ऑर्थो हाइड्रोक्सी बेंजोइक एसिड इज मोर सॉल्युबल एज कंपेयर टू पैरा, विच स्टेटमेंट इज नॉट करेक्ट, ये ध्यान रखिएगा। ऑर्थो हाइड्रोक्सी बेंजोइक एसिड में एक्चुअली होता है इंट्रामोलिकुलर हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग, राइट, जिसकी वजह से इसका पानी के साथ इंटरेक्शन कम हो जाता है एज कंपेयर टू पैरा, क्योंकि पैरा इंटरमॉलिक्यूलर हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग पानी के साथ बना सकता है, राइट। तो ये स्टेटमेंट हो गया गलत। ऑर्थो हाइड्रोक्सी बेंजोइक एसिड शुड बी लेस सॉल्युबल, पैरा ज्यादा सॉल्युबल होगा क्योंकि पैरा पानी के साथ हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग बना सकता है, तो यही आंसर हो गया। आगे देखते हैं H2O2 ग्रेटर देन H2O, एसिडिक स्ट्रेंथ परफेक्ट है। H2O2 के अंदर OH ग्रुप है एक्चुअली, तो इसकी OH ग्रुप बीइंग इन इलेक्ट्रॉन विड्रॉइंग ग्रुप इसकी एसिडिटी को बढ़ा देगा। H2O2 OCl2 OF2 बॉन्ड एंगल, H2O2 में बॉन्ड एंगल अधिक होता है, OCl2 OF2 ये बेंट स्ट्रक्चर होते हैं, इसके अंदर बॉन्ड एंगल कम होता है, तो ये भी स्टेटमेंट सही है, मतलब ये आंसर हो गया। ये स्टेटमेंट गलत है एक्चुअली, पहला वाला, ये आपका आंसर हो गया। ये स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है, ये भी करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है। ट्राइसिलाइल हैज अ प्लेनर ज्योमेट्री, यस दिस इज करेक्ट। ट्राइसिलाइल अमीन में बैक बॉन्डिंग होती है एक्चुअली, N SiH3 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 बैक बॉन्डिंग लोन पेयर, इसका जो d ऑर्बिटल है इसके लोन पेयर के साथ बैक बॉन्डिंग कर लेता है। बैक बॉन्डिंग होने की वजह से लोन पेयर इज नॉट अवेलेबल, तो हाइब्रिडाइजेशन एक तरह का sp2 हो जाएगा, प्लेनर ज्योमेट्री, ट्राइगोनल प्लेनर ज्योमेट्री एग्जिस्ट करेगी। ऑलराइट, तो ये भी स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है, ये करेक्ट नहीं है इसलिए यही आंसर हो गया। ऑलराइट, सो ऑप्शन ए इज करेक्ट ऑप्शन। जो आपके सामने क्वेश्चन डिस्प्लेड है ये केमिकल काइनेटिक्स का जो आर्हेनियस इक्वेशन वाला पोर्शन है उस पर दिया हुआ है, राइट। उसमें यूजुअली हम लोग आर्हेनियस इक्वेशन में एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी को लगभग कांस्टेंट मान लेते हैं फॉर अ शॉर्ट रेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर। यहाँ पे उसकी डिपेंडेंस टेम्परेचर पे दी हुई है, तो रिएक्शन है एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी का टेम्परेचर डिपेंडेंस इक्वेशन दिया हुआ है, और आपको बताना है यदि टेम्परेचर 200 से 400 तक इंक्रीज कर दें देन इनमें से इनकरेक्ट ऑप्शन कौन सा होगा। तो अगर मैं बेसिक आर्हेनियस इक्वेशन उठाऊं जो कि होती है डी अपॉन डी टी इज इक्वल टू ई ए अपॉन आर टी स्क्वायर, यहाँ पे ई ए की वैल्यू रख दो 0.04 टी स्क्वायर अपॉन आर की वैल्यू आर की वैल्यू 2 ले लेता हूँ कैलकुलेटर में, 2 इंटू टी स्क्वायर, तो टी स्क्वायर कैंसिल हो गया, ये आपका 0.02 आ गया। इसको अगर मैं लिख दूं ln k2 अपॉन k1 इज इक्वल टू 0.02 dt, जो कि t2 माइनस t1 हो जाएगा। ये है 0.02, t2 माइनस t1 इज 400 माइनस 200 विच इज 200, ये आपका 4 हो जाएगा। यहाँ से अगर आप k2 निकालोगे दैट बिकम्स e रेज टू द पावर 4 इंटू k1, दैट मीन्स जब भी टेम्परेचर 200 से 400 आपने किया तो k बिकम्स e रेज टू द पावर 4 टाइम्स। ऑलराइट, तो अब आप ऑप्शंस पे चले जाओ। तो रेट कांस्टेंट इंक्रीजेस टू e पावर 4 टाइम्स, ये करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है, आंसर में नहीं आएगा। रेट कांस्टेंट इंक्रीजेस टू नियरली दिस, ये भी करेक्ट है, ये दोनों वैल्यू सेम होती हैं। रेट कांस्टेंट इंक्रीजेस 10 to 4 टाइम्स, ये गलत है, इसका मतलब यही आंसर हुआ। एक्टिवेशन इंक्रीजेस टू 4 टाइम्स, ये भी सही है। कैसे, आप यहाँ से देख सकते हो, टेम्परेचर को ट्वाइस करोगे तो एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी 2 रेज़ टू द पावर 2 टाइम्स यानी 4 टाइम्स हो जाएगी, तो ये डी ऑप्शन भी करेक्ट है, तो आपका सी ऑप्शन एक्चुअली आंसर हुआ इस क्वेश्चन का। ऑलराइट, सेकंड लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स का क्वेश्चन, यहाँ पे डेल्टा एच नॉट फॉर्मेशन दिया हुआ है, एस नॉट सभी का दिया हुआ है एक्चुअली, और आपको बताना है डेल्टा जी नॉट ऑफ NH4Cl। ऑलराइट, डेल्टा जी नॉट ऑफ NH4Cl को मैं लिख सकता हूं डेल्टा एच नॉट ऑफ NH4Cl माइनस डेल्टा एस नॉट ऑफ NH4Cl, राइट। अब डेल्टा सीपी दिया हुआ है, ये बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन है, क्योंकि अगर डेल्टा सीपी 0 हो इसका मतलब होता है डेल्टा एच एट T1 इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा एच एट T2, यानी कि डेल्टा H1 डेल्टा H2 बराबर होते हैं। डेल्टा एन सीपी यदि 0 हो जाए तो फिर जो इंथैल्पी होती है, इवन एंट्रोपी होती है, वो टेम्परेचर डिपेंडेंट नहीं रहती, तो डेल्टा एच T1 इज ऑल्सो इक्वल टू डेल्टा एच T2। ठीक, अब मैं डेल्टा एच मुझे दिया हुआ है तो मैं सीधे ले लूंगा वो ये वैल्यू, और डेल्टा एस में निकाल लेता हूँ, डेल्टा एस नॉट ऑफ रिएक्शन कितना हो जाएगा, डेल्टा एस नॉट ऑफ रिएक्शन एट एनी टेम्परेचर ले लो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, दिस इज गिवन एज एस नॉट ऑफ रिएक्शन है कौन सी, NH4Cl का फॉर्मेशन, तो N2 गैस प्लस H2 गैस चेंजिंग इनटू NH4Cl सॉलिड, राइट। तो यहाँ पे हाफ N2 होगा प्लस हाफ Cl2 भी आएगा, हाफ Cl2 गैस, ठीक है। तो डेल यहाँ भी, यहाँ पे ट्वाइस आ जाएगा, ठीक है। तो डेल्टा एस नॉट इज गोइंग टू बी, डेल्टा एस नॉट दिया हुआ है सभी का, तो डेल्टा एस नॉट ऑफ रिएक्शन इज इक्वल टू एस नॉट ऑफ NH4Cl माइनस हाफ एस नॉट ऑफ हाइड्रोजन माइनस ट्वाइस नाइट्रोजन, एस नॉट ऑफ नाइट्रोजन प्लस ट्वाइस एस नॉट ऑफ हाइड्रोजन प्लस हाफ एस नॉट ऑफ क्लोरीन, ठीक है। ये सारा डेटा इसके अंदर डाल दो, तो मैं जो कुछ मान लेता हूँ, कुछ एक्स आ गया यहाँ पे, तो आपको डेल्टा एस नॉट पता चल गया, टेम्परेचर कुछ भी हो डेल्टा एस नॉट सेम रहेगा क्योंकि डेल्टा CP 0 है, ठीक। डेल्टा H नॉट ऑलरेडी क्वेश्चन में गिवन है और हमें डेल्टा G नॉट निकालना है, ऑलराइट। तो यहाँ से आप सिंपली यही वाला फॉर्मूला लगा दो, डेल्टा G नॉट इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा H नॉट जो कि क्वेश्चन में गिवन है कितना, डेल्टा H नॉट माइनस 314.5 माइनस, आप ये वैल्यू निकाल के रख देना, तो यहाँ से जो वैल्यू निकल के आती है ना, दैट कम्स आउट टू बी 198.56 किलो जूल पर मोल, ऑलराइट। जस्ट कैलकुलेशन जरूर है इसमें, जिसकी गलती आप नहीं करोगे तो आंसर आपको जरूर मिलेगा। तो इस क्वेश्चन का जो की पॉइंट था वो यही था कि डेल्टा CP यदि रिएक्शन का 0 हो तो डेल्टा H टेम्परेचर डिपेंडेंट नहीं रहता, डेल्टा S भी टेम्परेचर डिपेंडेंट नहीं रहता, ऑलराइट। Next question. Ammonia is an initial pressure of 15 atm at 27 degrees centigrade was kept in a vessel and heated at 347 degrees centigrade when temperature increase करने पर equilibrium establish हो गया. At equilibrium total pressure was found to be 50 atm. Calculate degree of dissociation of ammonia. All right. तो मैं अमोनिया का डिसोसिएशन रिएक्शन एक बार लिखता हूँ, दिस विल बी N2 गैस प्लस 3H2 गैस, राइट। इस क्वेश्चन के अंदर जो की पॉइंट है वो ये है कि डिकम्पोजिशन स्टार्टेड एट 347 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड, राइट। और जो प्रेशर अमोनिया का 15 atm दिया है वो 27 पे दिया है, यानी 27 से 347 तक कोई डिकम्पोजिशन नहीं हुआ। तो जो इनिशियली 15 atm था वो चेंज होकर कोई और प्रेशर पे चला गया होगा, वो मैं निकाल लेता हूँ, P1 अपॉन P1 इज इक्वल टू P2 अपॉन T2, क्योंकि वॉल्यूम कांस्टेंट रहेगा, जो वेसल है वो सेम है। P1 15, T1 है 300 इज इक्वल टू P2 चाहिए, T2 हो जाएगा हाउ मच, 6 7 347 प्लस 273 620, राइट, 620। यहाँ से P2 की वैल्यू रफली 31 atm आ जाती है, ठीक है, अप्रोक्सीमेटली 31 atm, यानी कि इनिशियल प्रेशर हैज टू बी टेकन एज 31 atm। तो 31 ये है T इज इक्वल टू 0 पे, बिगिनिंग ऑफ रिएक्शन एट इक्विलिब्रियम 31 माइनस 2x, ये बनेगा x, ये बनेगा 3x, एंड टोटल प्रेशर एट इक्विलिब्रियम इज गिवन, तो 31 माइनस 2x प्लस x प्लस 3x इज गिवन एज 50, तो 31 प्लस 2x इज इक्वल टू 50, तो x इज इक्वल टू 19 डिवाइडेड बाई 2, राइट। बल्कि एक काम करता हूँ, मैं 2x निकाल लेता हूँ, आई नीड ओनली 2x, ठीक। हमें चाहिए डिग्री ऑफ डिसोसिएशन, सो डिग्री ऑफ डिसोसिएशन इज इक्वल टू 2x अपॉन 31 इंटू 100, अगर परसेंटेज डिसोसिएशन निकालना है तो 100 से मल्टीप्लाई कर लो, 2x इज 19, 31, दिस कम्स आउट टू बी रफली 0.613, ऑलराइट। तो इस क्वेश्चन का जो की पॉइंट था वो ये था कि इनिशियली 15 atm का प्रेशर दिया है, अगर आपने 15 atm लेके कर दिया तो दिक्कत हो जाएगी, सो यू हैव टू कन्वर्ट दैट प्रेशर एट 347 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड बिफोर 347 degree centigrade before starting up the decomposition reaction. All right, so good question. In this reaction there is a sequence given followed by identification of the product. तो reactant दिया हुआ है and इनके अलग अलग intermediate and final product दिए हुए हैं, you need to find out which is going to be product D. Okay, तो पहला रिएक्शन है रिएक्शन विद PCl5, तो आपका A कंपाउंड होगा, this will be COCl, right, and hydride will be converted into acid halide, and then lithium aluminum hydride से रिडक्शन करोगे तो आपका जो B कंपाउंड होगा ये आपका A हो गया, this is going to be CH2OH, PCC से ऑक्सीडेशन करोगे ये आपका B हो गया, PCC से ऑक्सीडेशन करोगे तो ये CHO में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा, and then OH minus delta that indicates intramolecular Cannizzaro reaction. तो एक जगह आपका salt बन जाएगा, एक जगह आपका alcohol बन जाएगा. So your answer is going to be C. C is correct option. ऑलराइट, सिंपल. अगर आपको पहला रिएक्शन क्लिक हो गया ना तो बाकी तो आसानी से हो जाता है. तो पहला रिएक्शन क्लिक होना चाहिए. ऑलराइट, ये क्वेश्चन कोऑर्डिनेशन कंपाउंड से है. यहाँ पे कुछ प्रॉपर्टीज दी हुई है कॉम्प्लेक्सेस का और आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि कौन सा स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट नहीं है. एक बात ध्यान रखिएगा क्योंकि कई बार क्वेश्चंस में नॉट करेक्ट लिखा होता है एंड वी आर एक्चुअली आंसरिंग करेक्ट ऑप्शंस, तो वहाँ गलती हो जाती है. ऑलराइट, तो पहला स्टेटमेंट है these two complexes are D2sp3 hybridization, yes or no, let's check. साइनाइड है, स्ट्रॉन्ग फील्ड लिगेंड है और क्रोमियम यहाँ पे 3 है, तो डेफिनेटली इट इज गोइंग टू बी D2sp3. यहाँ भी वही बात है, दोनों D2sp3 हाइब्रिडाइजेशन. सेकंड स्टेटमेंट की बात करें तो FeH2O5NOSO4 is 4.89 bm इसका मैग्नेटिक मोमेंट. ये अगर आप चेक करोगे ना तो यहाँ पे इसकी रिएक्शन के दौरान, ये ब्राउनिंग कॉम्प्लेक्स है एक्चुअली, नाइट्रेट आयन के टेस्ट में या नाइट्राइट आयन के टेस्ट में यूज होता है. तो वहाँ जो NO बनता है ना बेसिकली वो ऑक्सीडाइज हो जाता है NO प्लस में, और ये NO प्लस एक्चुअली Fe2 प्लस के साथ एक्वा कॉम्प्लेक्स बनाता है. तो जो आयरन होता है, आयरन +2 में रहता है पहले, तो D6 रहता है. अगर आप D6 का इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कन्फिगुरेशन लिखोगे तो ऐसा आएगा 1 2 3 4 5 एंड 6. जब एक इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्स्ट्रा इसके ऑक्सीडेशन के दौरान आता है तो ये एक्चुअली अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन टोटल 3 बचते हैं. तो जो म्यू होगा वो होगा 3 × 5 स्क्वायर रूट, राइट. तो ये 3 पॉइंट समथिंग होगा √15. ऑलराइट, तो ये एक्चुअली 4.89 नहीं होगा, ये गलत है. ये एक्चुअली n की वैल्यू 4 के हिसाब से दिया हुआ है, तो ये स्टेटमेंट गलत है, इसीलिए यही आंसर हो गया. ओके, नाउ कमिंग टू पार्ट सी. CuNH3 this all DsP2, yes they all are DsP2 hybridization. प्लेटिनम के केस में प्लेटिनम, निकल, कॉपर. प्लेटिनम में तो कुछ कहना ही नहीं, चाहे वीक लिगेंड हो या स्ट्रॉन्ग लिगेंड हो, स्क्वायर प्लेनर कॉम्प्लेक्स ही बनाता है. निकल में D8 कन्फिगुरेशन है. कॉपर में एक इलेक्ट्रॉन का एक्साइटेशन करा देते हैं हायर सेल में, तो ये भी स्क्वायर प्लेनर कॉम्प्लेक्स बनाता है DsP2. तो ये सही स्टेटमेंट है, राइट. आंसर नहीं आएगा. इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू सब्स्टिट्यूट ए चिलेटिंग लिगेंड. यस, चिलेटिंग लिगेंड क्योंकि स्टेबल होते हैं. चिलेटिंग लिगेंड का जो कॉम्प्लेक्स होता है वो स्टेबल होता है बिकॉज ऑफ मेनी रीजन. एक तो रिंग बनी होती है तो एक्स्ट्रा एनर्जी चाहिए होगी रिंग को तोड़ने के लिए. दूसरे क्या होगा कि चिलेटिंग लिगेंड जब निकालोगे तो 2 मोनोडेंटेट लेके आने पड़ेंगे, तो एंट्रोपी एक्चुअली कम हो जाएगी पूरे सिस्टम की, पूरी प्रोसेस की. तो एंट्रोपी कम होना अगेन रिएक्शन को डिफिकल्ट बना देगा. तो ये स्टेटमेंट भी करेक्ट है. तो जो इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है तो आपका बी हो गया. ऑलराइट, ऑफ केमिकल रिएक्शंस वी नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट्स एंड वी नीड टू आंसर द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ प्रोडक्ट y. ऑलराइट, तो चलिए पहला इक्वेशन देखते हैं. तो पहले जो आपका प्रोडक्ट यहाँ पे बनेगा ये आपका हाइड्रोबोरेशन है, हाइड्रोबोरेशन ऑक्सीडेशन. तो यहाँ बना लेता हूँ मैं सीधे. हाइड्रोबोरेशन ऑक्सीडेशन में क्योंकि ये एंटी मार्कोनिक ऑफ एडिशन ऑफ वाटर होता है एक तरह से, तो ये कंपाउंड बन जाएगा. टोसाइलेशन से ये जो OH है ये OTS में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा. इट्स अ गुड लीविंग ग्रुप, CH3OTS. एंड टर्शरी ब्यूटॉक्साइड एक्चुअली क्रिएट E2 मैकेनिज्म विद हाफमैन प्रोडक्ट. तो हाफमैन प्रोडक्ट में ये वाला H जाएगा, ये पूरा निकल जाएगा. तो आपका जो फाइनल प्रोडक्ट आएगा वो आएगा ये देखो, यहाँ पे डबल बॉन्ड आया. ऑलराइट, यहाँ पे डबल बॉन्ड आ रहा है यहाँ पे. एंड दिस कंपाउंड इज एक्चुअली पोजीशन आइसोमर ऑफ कंपाउंड X. सो A इज गोइंग टू बी द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. सीक्वेंस ऑफ ऑर्गेनिक रिएक्शंस, रिएक्टेंट दिया है, रिएजेंट दिया है, आपको सारे इंटरमीडिएट प्रोडक्ट आइडेंटिफाई करने हैं क्योंकि आपको ऑप्शन में लिखना है विच इज ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट अ करेक्ट प्रोडक्ट इन द अबव रिएक्शन सीक्वेंस. ऑलराइट, तो जब आप कंपाउंड B बनाते हो, जैसे A आपने बनाया पहले H+ डाल के, एक तरह से टॉटोमेराइजेशन कराया है. तो ये बेसिकली A जो कंपाउंड होगा वो टॉटोमेरिक फॉर्म होगा, यानी ये एसीटोन है तो इसकी टॉटोमेरिक फॉर्म विल बी लाइक दिस. और ये टॉटोमर इससे रिएक्ट करके एल्डोल कंडेंसेशन देगा, एसिड कैटलाइज्ड एल्डोल कंडेंसेशन. तो जो B आपका कंपाउंड होगा ये बीटा हाइड्रोक्सी प्रोडक्ट हो जाएगा, बीटा हाइड्रोक्सी कीटोन, राइट. ये आपका कंपाउंड B हो गया है ना, ये एसीटोन का कंडेंसेशन से बना है. और फिर वाटर निकालोगे, यहाँ रिपीटेड कंडेंसेशन करोगे, वाटर निकाल के तो जो कंपाउंड आपका D बनेगा वो क्या बनेगा, वाटर निकाल के जो C बनेगा आपका डबल बॉन्ड, देन दिस डबल बॉन्ड यहाँ पे आ गया, कॉन्जुगेटेड रहता है ये कार्बोनिल ग्रुप के. तो C कंपाउंड ये हो गया. तो C आपका मैच कर रहा है या नहीं, चेक. C मैच कर रहा है, C ये वाला मैच कर रहा है, एक्चुअली ये मैच कर रहा है, A मैच कर रहा है, यस. रिपीटेड कंडेंसेशन, रिपीटेड सीक्वेंस, यानी कि एक और ये सीक्वेंस रिएक्शन की है, एक और एसीटोन का मॉलिक्यूल लेके आए हैं. तो जो प्रोडक्ट आपका D बनेगा ना वो रिपीटेड कंडेंसेशन प्रोडक्ट बनेगा. अब रिपीटेड कंडेंसेशन प्रोडक्ट में क्योंकि अगर मैं एसीटोन के 3 मॉलिक्यूल का कंडेंसेशन कर दूं तो कुछ इस तरह से प्रोडक्ट बनता है, देखिए CH CH, दिस इज द फाइनल प्रोडक्ट आफ्टर कंडेंसेशन ऑफ 3 मॉलिक्यूल। जब इसका अमोनिया के साथ एक्चुअली रिएक्शन होगा तो अमोनिया बेसिकली एज ए न्यूक्लियोफाइल इस कार्बन पे अटैक करेगा, इस कार्बन पे एक बार इंटरमॉलिक्यूलरली एक बार इंट्रामॉलिक्यूलरली, तो 1 2 3 4 5 एंड 6 मेंबर रिंग बनेगा, ये कंपाउंड बन जाएगा F। सो F इज आई मीन F कंपाउंड इसके साथ मैच होगा, राइट। तो अब आपका F कंपाउंड करेक्ट है, बी कंपाउंड आई मीन ऑप्शन ए भी मैच कर रहा है बी के साथ, बी ऑप्शन F के साथ, एंड जो आपका कंपाउंड सी है वो डी ऑप्शन में दिया हुआ है। तो जो सी ऑप्शन है जिसके अंदर बी के बारे में सीधे, क्योंकि बी में वाटर निकाला नहीं है, इन्होंने वाटर निकाल के बना दिया है, तो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी द रॉन्ग प्रोडक्ट फॉर्म्ड इन दिस सीक्वेंस ऑफ रिएक्शन। ऑलराइट, देखिए ये जो 3 मॉलिक्यूल का कंडेंसेशन, इसका शॉर्टकट मैं आपको बता देता हूँ कि एग्जैक्टली मैंने कैसे बनाया है। एल्डोल कंडेंसेशन का प्रॉपर मैकेनिज्म आप देख करके इसको प्रॉपरली बना सकते हैं। लाइक मैंने ना 2 मॉलिक्यूल इस तरह से कंडेंस कर दिए, CH H2O डबल बॉन्ड C, दिस यहाँ से वाटर निकाल दिया, यहाँ से वाटर निकाल दिया, 3 मॉलिक्यूल बन गए, और फिर इसका अमोनिया के साथ रिपीटेड रिएक्शन करा दिया, एक बार इंटरमॉलिक्यूलर एक बार इंट्रामॉलिक्यूलर, तो साइक्लाइज होकर ये कंपाउंड बन गया। ऑलराइट, एंड द सीक्वेंस ऑफ रिएजेंट, रिएक्टेंट दिया है, सीक्वेंस ऑफ 3 रिएजेंट दिए हैं, आपको बताना है कि फाइनल प्रोडक्ट क्या होगा। तो देखिए ये बेसिकली एक तरह से एल्काइल हैलाइड की तरह ट्रीट करो, PPH3 में SN2 रिएक्शन होगी, तो आपको जो पहला प्रोडक्ट मिलेगा वो ये मिलेगा, देखो ब्रोमीन हटा करके आप PPH3 सॉल्ट बना लो एक तरह से प्लस। ऑलराइट, उसके बाद ETO माइनस से रिएक्शन कराओगे तो ये जो एनायनिक चार्ज है ये निकल के येलाइड कंपाउंड बन जाएगा। एक्चुअली दिस विल बी P डबल बॉन्ड C PH PH एंड PH C एंड ये C डबल बॉन्ड O OET, येलाइड टाइप का कंपाउंड। और इसका रिएक्शन जब आप CCH3CHO से कराते हो, CH3CHO से कराते हो, तो ये विटिग रिएक्शन है, बेसिकली ये पोर्शन निकलेगा और विटिग रिएक्शन होके आपका ये प्रोडक्ट बन जाएगा CH3 CH डबल बॉन्ड CH CH3। ऑलराइट, सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी योर फाइनल प्रोडक्ट। चेक, क्योंकि आगे कोई और रिएक्शन नहीं है, CH3CO ही खत्म हो गया है, तो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी योर फाइनल प्रोडक्ट। ए इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन। ये क्वेश्चन बेसिकली क्वालिटेटिव एनालिसिस पे बेस्ड है, आपको 4 स्टेटमेंट दिए हैं, आपको फाइंड आउट करना है कि कौन सा स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है, राइट। Consider the following statement arranged in the order of true false. All right, S1, from the solution containing copper and zinc ion, copper can be selectively precipitated by using sodium sulfide। देखो अगर आप कॉपर और जिंक के सॉल्यूशन में सल्फाइड आयन डाल दो तो कॉपर एंड जिंक दोनों प्रेसिपिटेट हो जाते हैं। वो बात और है कि जिंक सल्फाइड का व्हाइट PPT कॉपर सल्फाइड के ब्लैक में मर्ज हो जाएगा, बट स्टिल अलग तो नहीं होगा ना, रहेगा तो मिक्सर में ही, तो ये फॉल्स स्टेटमेंट है। This is going to be a false statement. Second, calcium, aluminium, bismuth, magnesium, NH4Cl and aqueous ammonia will precipitate aluminium। aluminium के साथ bismuth का भी हाइड्रोक्साइड यहीं पे precipitate हो जाता है, right? तो this is also a false statement। अगला है सोडियम क्लोराइड ऑन रिएक्शन विद कॉन्सेंट्रेट H2SO4 इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ MnO2 गिव्स यस। अगर आप क्लोराइड आयन का MnO2 के साथ रिएक्शन कराते हो तो ये बेसिकली इसको Cl2 में ऑक्सीडाइज कर देगा, जो कि ग्रीनिश येलो होता है, तो ये ट्रू हो गया। फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ब्राउन प्रेसिपिटेट विद एल्कलाइन K2HgI4 इंडिकेट द प्रेजेंस ऑफ अमोनियम आयन का कंफर्मेटरी टेस्ट है ये। आयोडाइड ऑफ मिलन्स बेस जो बनता है ब्राउन प्रेसिपिटेट वो यही तो है, तो ये भी एक करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट यानी ट्रू हो गया। तो फॉल्स फॉल्स ट्रू ट्रू, फॉल्स फॉल्स ट्रू ट्रू, सी ऑप्शन इज गोइंग टू बी द राइट आंसर ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन। केमिकल बॉन्डिंग का क्वेश्चन, वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन पे रिपल्सन थ्योरी या स्ट्रक्चर या बॉन्ड लेंथ या बॉन्ड पैरामीटर से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन है। बताना है इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट ऑफ द फॉलोइंग मॉलिक्यूल। इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट बताना है PF2CH3 होल थ्राइस, ये sp3d2 हाइब्रिडाइजेशन दोनों हो गए, तो दोनों का ट्राइगोनल बाइपिरामिडल स्ट्रक्चर होगा, तो ये करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है, आंसर नहीं होगा। बोथ हैव सेम डाइपोल मोमेंट, वो अपने को चेक करना पड़ेगा सेम डाइपोल मोमेंट है या नहीं है। देखो रूल ये है कि TBP में जो ज्यादा इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव एटम होता है उसको हम एक्सियल पोजीशन पे रखते हैं, तो यहाँ पे फ्लोरीन है और यहाँ पे मिथाइल है, तो ऑब्वियसली दोनों का डाइपोल मोमेंट फ्लोरीन फ्लोरीन का कैंसिल हो गया और ट्राइगोनल ट्रायंगल के कॉर्नर से मिथाइल का आपस में कैंसिल हो गया, तो इसका डाइपोल मोमेंट 0। सेम वे PF2CF3 का भी यही करेंगे, फ्लोरीन इज मोर इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव देन CF3, तो सिमिलर स्ट्रक्चर आपको मिलेगा। तो अगेन यहाँ पे फ्लोरीन फ्लोरीन एक दूसरे का कैंसिल कर देंगे और CF3 के तीनों जो कॉर्नर पे नेट डाइपोल मोमेंट आएगा, ये भी नेट जीरो बना देगा, तो ये भी करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है। Coming to third statement, PF bond length is longer in PF2 CH3 whole thrice than PF2 CH3 whole thrice, यानी कि मुझे इसका बॉन्ड लेंथ कंपैरिजन करना है। अब देखो यहाँ पे S करेक्टर है कम, क्योंकि यहाँ पे S करेक्टर ज्यादा है एक्चुअली, क्योंकि ये कम इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव है। अगर यहाँ S करेक्टर इसके कंपैरिजन में ज्यादा है तो यहाँ S करेक्टर कम हो गया, और अगर इसके कंपैरिजन में अगर S करेक्टर इन दोनों में इसमें कम है तो इसका बॉन्ड लेंथ अधिक होगा, तो PF बॉन्ड लेंथ इज लॉन्गर इन दिस एंड शॉर्टर इन दिस। तो ये स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है, तो ये गलत हो गया, ऑटोमेटिकली उल्टा लिखा हुआ है। ऑलराइट, तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट और की कंसेप्ट का क्वेश्चन है, बॉन्ड लेंथ का कंपैरिजन प्रॉपर्ली आपको आना चाहिए। ये क्वेश्चन बेसिकली इस बात पे बेस्ड है कि स्पेक्ट्रोकेमिकल सीरीज में डिफरेंट लिगेंड का रिलेटिव स्ट्रेंथ किस सीक्वेंस में होता है। तो जो गिवन नंबर ऑफ लिगेंड्स है उसके अंदर क्लोराइड आयन लीस्ट होता है, साइनाइड स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट होता है। तो कुल मिला के यही सीक्वेंस परफेक्ट सीक्वेंस है, बाकी सब गलत है। तो ये एक्सपेरिमेंटल फैक्ट पे बेस्ड है, तो इसमें ज़्यादा कुछ एक्सप्लेन करने जैसा है नहीं। ऑर्गेनिक का क्वेश्चन, इंपॉर्टेंट रिएक्शन दी हुई है, आइडेंटिफाई करना है रिएक्टेंट। एन ऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड C5H11X ऑन डीहाइड्रोहेलोजिनेशन गिव्स पेंट टू इन ओनली, यानी एक ही प्रोडक्ट बनता है। तो एक ही प्रोडक्ट बनता है, इसका मतलब एक ही बीटा हाइड्रोजन होना चाहिए डीहाइड्रोहेलोजिनेशन में। तो आइडेंटिफाई कर लीजिए कौन सा आंसर होगा, यही फाइंड आउट करना है। जैसे पहले में देखो, आप पहले में जब आप डीहाइड्रोहेलोजिनेशन करोगी तो चाहे आप लेफ्ट से निकालो बीटा हाइड्रोजन या राइट से निकालो, प्रोडक्ट तो एक ही बनेगा, राइट। ये बीटा है, ये बीटा है, और दोनों इक्विवेलेंट हैं, तो दिस इज द ओनली आंसर जहां पे आपको एक ही एल्कीन मिलेगा। बाकी में दो टाइप के बीटा मिलेंगे, यहाँ भी दो प्रोडक्ट मिलेगा, यहाँ भी दो प्रोडक्ट मिलेगा, यहाँ पे CH3 CH2 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 CH6 प्रोडक्ट तो यहाँ भी एक ही मिलेगा, लेकिन वो पेंट 2 इन नहीं होगा, वो पेंट 1 इन हो जाएगा एक्चुअली। ये क्योंकि इसके अंदर एक ही बीटा हाइड्रोजन है और डबल बॉन्ड टर्मिनल पोजीशन पे आ रहा है, इसलिए ये आंसर नहीं हो सकता, अदरवाइज एक ही एल्कीन इसमें भी मिल रहा है। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज मोस्ट स्टेबल इंटरमीडिएट, आपको कार्बोनियम आयन की स्टेबिलिटी चेक करनी है, सभी में कौन मोस्ट स्टेबल है। तो देखिए यहाँ कार्बन पे प्लस है, यहाँ कार्बन पे प्लस है, सारे कार्बोनियम आयन है, एक और होना चाहिए, कहाँ छुपा है, ये रहा, सभी में कार्बोनियम आयन है। लेकिन जो ये कार्बोनियम आयन है इसमें वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रॉन रिलीजिंग ग्रुप इज प्रेजेंट, जिससे क्या होगा कि एक ऐसा स्ट्रक्चर बनेगा जहां सभी एटम का ऑक्टेट कंप्लीट है, जो सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट ड्राइविंग फोर्स होता है स्टेबिलिटी के लिए। सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी मोस्ट स्टेबल, ऐसा और किसी में नहीं है, बाकी सब में कार्बन पे ही प्लस चार्ज रह जाएगा। यहाँ OH थोड़ा आगे है, यहाँ भी OH डायरेक्टली नहीं अटैच्ड है उस कार्बन से जहाँ पे प्लस चार्ज है, और यहाँ भी कुछ ऐसा ही है। ऑलराइट, सो योर करेक्ट आंसर इज बी। ऑलराइट, another reaction sequence, acetylene reacting with HgSO4 H2SO4 followed by NH3HCN hydrolysis, प्रोडक्ट B क्या होगा। ये आप जानते हैं हाइड्रेशन ऑफ एसिटिलीन है, इससे मिलेगा CH3CHO। NH3HCN का रिएक्शन करा के हाइड्रोलिसिस करेंगे, तो बेसिकली जब NH3 की प्रेजेंस में हीट करते हैं तो CH3CH डबल बॉन्ड NH बनता है, इसका HCN से रिएक्शन कराते हैं CH3CH COOH सॉरी CH3NH2CN बनता है, और इसका हाइड्रोलिसिस करा दोगे तो जो साइनाइड ग्रुप है ये कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा COOH ग्रुप में, एंड दिस कंपाउंड इज एन अल्फा अमीनो एसिड कॉल्ड एज एलानीन। तो एलानीन का प्रिपरेशन है ये, बेसिकली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट प्रिपरेशन। नंबर ऑफ फॉलोइंग कंपाउंड्स व्हिच कांट बी सिंथेसाइज्ड बाय इन अ गुड यील्ड बाय विलियमसन सिंथेसिस। आपको पता है कि विलियमसन ईथर फॉर्मेशन के अंदर SN2 मैकेनिज्म होता है, SN2E2 कॉम्पीटिंग रिएक्शन है, इसलिए इनकी लिमिटेशन है, लाइक टर्सरी अल्काइल हैलाइड से E2 हो जाएगा, SN2 नहीं हो पाएगा, है ना। तो उस तरह से आइडेंटिफाई करना है अपने को। जैसे पहला है, पहला दोनों प्राइमरी ग्रुप है, इसको आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते, इसको आप बना सकते हैं विलियमसन से। MEOPH इसको भी बना सकते हैं, MECl पे आप PHO माइनस का रिएक्शन करा दो। PHO ये नहीं बना सकते, क्योंकि अगर आपने यहाँ क्लोरीन लगाया तो ब्रिज हेड होने की वजह से SN2 नहीं हो पाएगा। अगर आपने क्लोरोबेंजीन लिया तो एराइल हैलाइड पे डायरेक्ट न्यूक्लियोफिलिक सब्स्टिट्यूशन होता नहीं है, तो ये नहीं बनेगा, कैन नॉट बी, विच कांट बी, तो नॉट वाले आंसर्स देने हैं। ये भी नहीं बना सकते, सेम रीजन, दोनों तरफ फिनाइल लगा है, तो आपको एक तरफ तो PHCl लेना ही पड़ेगा, रिएक्शन होगी नहीं। यहाँ एक तरफ टर्शरी है, इसको भी नहीं बना सकते, टर्सरी है एक तरफ फिनाइल है, इसको भी नहीं बना सकते। यहाँ भी टर्सरी है फिनाइल है, इसको भी नहीं बना सकते, इसको बना सकते हैं आप। टोटल हो गए 1 2 3 4, तो 4 ऐसे कंपाउंड हैं जो विलियमसन सिंथेसिस के दौरान बनते नहीं हैं, ईथर की सिंथेसिस नहीं होगी। What should be the minimum pressure applied on 0.1 molar glucose solution filled in semi-permeable membranes to filter 750 ml of water leaving 250 ml of water? That means इन्होंने जो क्वांटिटी है वाटर की 1/4 कर दी है, राइट? तो कॉन्सेंट्रेशन 4 टाइम्स हो जाएगी, तो कॉन्सेंट्रेशन 0.1 इंटू 4 यानी कि 0.4 हो गई। अब आपको ये निकालना है ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर, पाई इज इक्वल टू सी आर टी। कॉन्सेंट्रेशन पता है 0.4, आर को ले लो आप 0.08 दिया है क्वेश्चन में, और टेम्परेचर है 300, 9.6। तो यहाँ पे जो की पॉइंट था वो यही था कि वॉल्यूम अगर पानी का 1/4 हो गया तो कॉन्सेंट्रेशन 4 टाइम्स हो गई। तो दिस वे 9.6 atm इज गोइंग टू बी द फाइनल आंसर ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन। ऑलराइट, आइडेंटिफाई द टोटल नंबर ऑफ कंपाउंड विच गिव इमीडिएट टर्बिडिटी विद ल्यूकोस रिएजेंट। इमीडिएट टर्बिडिटी ल्यूकोस रिएजेंट से वो देते हैं जिनका कार्बोनियम आयन बहुत स्टेबल होता है, तुरंत HCl के साथ रिएक्शन कर लेते हैं, राइट? तो कार्बोनियम आयन इसमें CPM बनेगा, आपको पता है CPM बहुत ही स्टेबल कार्बोनियम आयन है। इसमें साइक्लोप्रोपिनाइल केटायन बनेगा जो एरोमेटिक होता है, बहुत स्टेबल है। तो एक ये हो गया, एक ये हो गया। ये नहीं होगा, एंटी एरोमेटिक हो जाएगा अगर इसकी रिएक्शन करें आपने। ये टर्शरी है, डेफिनेटली देगा ये इमीडिएट प्रेसिपिटेट। ये आपका है सेकेंडरी, और ये सेकेंडरी है, ये प्राइमरी है, सॉरी ये प्राइमरी है, और ये है बेंजाइलिक, और इसके अंदर भी कार्बोनियम आयन हाईली स्टेबल होगा, राइट? तो इसको भी छोड़ दो आप, तो आपका हो गया 1 2 और 3 और 4 और 5। तो टोटल 5 ऐसे कंपाउंड हैं जो इमीडिएट टर्बिडिटी ल्यूकोस रिएजेंट के साथ देंगे। ऑलराइट, amongst the following total number of compounds soluble in aqueous NaOH। ऐसे उन कंपाउंड को लिस्ट करना है, फाइंड आउट करना है जो NaOH में घुल जाते हैं, यानी जिनमें फेयरली एसिडिक कैरेक्टर होता है। तो कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड में कुछ सोचना ही नहीं है, फिनॉलिक कंपाउंड में कुछ सोचना ही नहीं है, ये सारे फिनॉलिक कंपाउंड सारे हो गए, कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड सारे हो गए। ये नहीं घुलेगा, ये खुद ही बेस है। ये ईथर एंड एल्कोहल है, एल्कोहल से NaOH में डिजोल्व नहीं होते। नाइट्रो कंपाउंड है, NaOH में नहीं घुलेगा। ये एरोमेटिक हाइड्रोकार्बन है, नहीं घुलेगा। ऑलराइट, तो टोटल कितने हो गए? 1 2 3 4, टोटल 4 ऐसे कंपाउंड हैं जो NaOH में घुल जाएंगे। ऑलराइट, करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट निकालना है। आपके सामने क्वेश्चन दिया हुआ है कि रिड्यूसिंग कैरेक्टर डेंसिटी, ईज ऑफ एड्सॉर्प्शन, बॉइलिंग पॉइंट, इन सब का ये दिया हुआ है सीक्वेंस। आपको जस्टिफाई करना है कि कितने करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट हैं। पहला, रिड्यूसिंग कैरेक्टर करेक्ट है। जैसे जैसे ग्रुप में डाउन द ग्रुप जाते हैं बॉन्ड लेंथ बढ़ती है, आसानी से बॉन्ड टूट जाता है। अगर एलिमेंट और H का बॉन्ड आसानी से टूट जाए तो वो आसानी से रिड्यूस करेगा, तो रिड्यूसिंग कैरेक्टर अच्छा होगा, राइट? बिस्मथ, एंटीमनी, आर्सेनिक, फास्फोरस, टॉप टू बॉटम इन द ग्रुप, 15th ग्रुप, डेंसिटी बढ़ती है, करेक्ट है ये। ईज ऑफ एब्जॉर्प्शन, जितना बड़ा साइज का ये होगा, इनर्ट गैस होगा, उतना ज्यादा वंडर वाल फोर्सेस एग्जिस्ट करेंगे, उतना आसानी से एब्जॉर्ब हो जाएंगे किसी सरफेस पे, करेक्ट है। H2O, H2S, H2S, यहाँ पे गड़बड़ है, H2S लास्ट में आता है एक्चुअली। इसका करेक्ट सीक्वेंस बॉइलिंग पॉइंट का होता है H2O, देन H2TE, देन H2SC, देन H2S। तो H2S का लास्ट होगा, इसलिए ये करेक्ट नहीं है। बॉइलिंग पॉइंट 15 ग्रुप में बिल्कुल यही एग्जैक्टली यही सीक्वेंस फॉलो करता है, ये भी करेक्ट है। अमोनिया का SbH3 से एक्चुअली कम होता है, मेल्टिंग पॉइंट में ज़्यादा हो जाता है। ऑलराइट, सो ये भी करेक्ट है। तो टोटल 5 में से 4 स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है, इसलिए योर करेक्ट आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी 4।
Hi everyone, I'm Firoz Khan, Master Teacher of Mathematics here at Vedantu. So in this video, we are going to discuss the mathematics paper which was conducted very recently, right? So let's start the discussion. And here is the question on your screen based on theory of equations. So alpha, beta, gamma are the roots of this cubic, and you have to get the minimum value of this expression. So let me call this expression, this given expression, as S. Suppose this expression is S here. So I can rewrite this expression as, I can write it as beta plus gamma by alpha. Basically, I'm writing the two terms having same denominator, alpha, together. Then gamma plus alpha by beta. And then alpha plus beta by gamma. So this expression can be written like this. Now you can see that alpha, beta, gamma are the roots of this cubic. So alpha plus beta plus gamma, this is equal to sine A. So just substitute the values here. So it is what? Beta plus gamma can be written as sine A minus alpha over alpha. Similarly, gamma plus alpha can be written as sine A minus beta over beta. And alpha plus beta can be written as sine A minus gamma over gamma. So finally it comes out to be minus 3 plus sine A 1 over alpha plus 1 over beta plus 1 over gamma. It can also be written as minus 3 plus sine A. Now this 1 over A plus 1 over alpha plus 1 over beta plus 1 over gamma. It is alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha over alpha beta gamma. So now this is minus 3 plus sine A. Now this alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha, since alpha beta gamma are the roots of the cubic, so this alpha beta beta gamma plus gamma alpha is cos A. And alpha beta gamma is actually 2. So finally it is minus 3 plus 1 by 4 sine 2A. And since we have to get its minimum value, so you know that sine will be minimum minus 1. So it is minimum minus 3 minus 1 by 4, which is minus 13 by 4. Means B option is the correct option here, right? Let's see this question. This is from area. You have to find the area enclosed by y is equal to gx, x-axis, x is equal to 5 and x is equal to 15. Gx is the inverse of this function and this area is called A here. So basically you have to get A. So A is what? A is 5 to 15 gx dx. 5 to 15 gx dx. And gx is what? Inverse of this function fx. Now you can clearly see from the given function, f1 is 5 and f2 is 15. So that means f inverse 1, f inverse 5 is 1. F inverse 15 is 2. And f inverse is nothing but g. So g5 is 1. g15 is 2. Now let's use this standard result, that 5 to 15 gx dx and then g5 to g15 g inverse x dx. This is equal to 15 times g15 minus 5 times g5. This is well known result, that a to b fx dx plus fa to fb f inverse x dx, that becomes b fb minus a fa. This is what I'm using here. Now this 5 to 15 gx dx, it is a. g5 you can see it is 1, g15 is 2, g inverse x is nothing but fx, which is x cube plus 3x plus 1 dx. Now it is 15 g15 is 2, 5 g5 is 1. Now you can easily integrate this. It is x4 by 4 plus 3x square by 2 plus x. 30 minus 5, 25. Now just calculate this one. You will get the area from here. And limits, just substitute the limit from 1 to 2. Upper limit 2 minus lower limit 1. And then calculate A. You will easily get your area here. And this area comes out to be what? 63 by 4, which is option C. Okay, let's see this question. They are saying that this function, the two statements are given to you. First statement says this function is not 1, 1. Second statement says range is minus infinity to plus infinity. So let's check the first statement. I can clearly see that this equation x square minus 5x minus 9 is equal to 0 gives you two real and distinct roots because its discriminant is greater than 0. So let's say two roots of this equation are alpha and beta. Means at alpha and beta numerator is 0. So hence I can say that f alpha is 0, f beta is 0. And since f alpha is equal to f beta, means values are repeating at alpha and beta. So hence this function is not 1, 1 for sure. Since values of the function are repeating itself, function cannot be 1, 1. Means this first statement is true. Now let's check the second statement. Now if I can see that this denominator 3x square plus 2x plus 7, 3x square plus 2x plus 7, this denominator has no real root. If I put it equal to 0, it has no real root. Means denominator is never 0. And since denominator is never 0, so hence your function fx is always finite. It always gives you finite value. Because see, ratio can be infinite only when denominator approaches to 0. But here the denominator can never be 0. So this ratio, the function fx, can never approach to infinity. It will always be a finite value. Means the function cannot approach to infinity or minus infinity. Means the range of the function, range of fx, can't be minus infinity to plus infinity. Because the function can never be infinite, it will always give you finite value. So hence range cannot be minus infinity to infinity. Means this function has range minus infinity to infinity. It is a false statement. The first statement is correct here. Second statement is false here. Means option B is true here. If you want to get the range precisely, what is the range actually, to then take this function fx as y, cross multiply, make a quadratic in x, put the discriminant greater than or equal to 0, so you will get an inequality in y, solve that inequality, you will get the range of y. Okay, let's see this question. This is from limits, and what they are saying, limit x approaching to 1. I can write this limit as sine, let's divide numerator and denominator by x minus 1. So it is sine x minus 1 over x minus 1 minus a over 1 plus sine x minus 1 over x minus 1. See numerator, if I divide by x minus 1, so sine x minus 1 over x minus 1, here a taken common, so minus a, x minus 1 to minus a, and denominator is 1 plus x minus 1 over, and numerator power 1 minus root x, 1 minus x over 1 minus root x, that can be written as 1 plus root x. This limit is 1 by 16. Now obviously sine theta over theta is 1 when theta approaches to 0. So this limit comes out to be what? This limit comes out to be 1 minus a by 2 whole raised to 2. It is 1 by 16. So this gives you 1 minus a by 2 is equal to 1 by 4. Why you are not taking negative value? Because if you take negative value, so see when base is a negative number and power is not exactly 2, actually power is approaching to 2. So when let's say you have some base and this power, let's say power is x and this x is approaching to 2. So then function will be defined only when in the neighborhood of 2, when base is positive. When base is negative, then you will get undefined values in the neighborhood of 2. So base must be positive. So hence I am taking positive value here. So this gives you 1 minus a is equal to half. So a will be minus half. Means you are getting only one value of a. The sum of real values of a is minus half, which is not there in the option. So hence D is the correct answer here. Sorry, a will be plus half, not minus half here. 1 minus a is half, a is plus half. Okay, let's see this question. This is from PNC, permutations and combination. They are saying that there are 5 questions such that sum of marks is 30 and marks of any question is not less than 3 and not more than 3. If the number of ways which marks can be awarded is a 3-digit number xyz, then the value of x plus y plus z is okay. So let's say the marks obtained in these 5 papers are x1, x2, x3 x4 and x5. So let's say these are the marks obtained in the 5 papers, 5 questions in, I should say, and sum is given 30 here. Sum of all marks, 5 marks, is 30. Now they are saying that each marks of any question is not less than 3 and not more than 8. Means each xi lies between 3 and 8 here. Each xi lies between 3 and 8. Now what I am doing here, let's substitute xi is equal to 8 minus yi. 8 minus yi. Basically yi is 8 minus xi. So since xi lies between, basically yi is what? Yi is 8 minus xi. So since xi is minimum 3, maximum 8, so hence y will be minimum 0 and maximum 5. When xi is 8, y will be 0. When xi is 3, y will be 5. Now if I substitute here, xi is equal to 8 minus yi, so I will get what? I will get 40 minus y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus y4 plus y5 is equal to 30. From here I will get y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus y4 plus y5 is equal to 10. So I should say that y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus y4 plus y5, that will be equal to 10. And yi varies between 0 and 5. Yi varies between 0 and 5. So now let's write the number of non-negative integral solutions here. So you know that when n identical objects are distributed among R beggars, so that any beggar can get any number of objects, so then number of ways of distribution will be n plus r minus 1 c r minus 1. So here 10 objects, and these 10 objects are distributed among these 5 persons without any restriction. So what will be the number of solutions here? N is 10, R is 5. So n plus r minus 1, c r minus 1. N plus r minus 1, c r minus 1. So n is 10, r is 5. So it is 14c4. But this is the number of solution when there is no restriction on yi. Means y1, y2, y3, y4, y5 are any whole numbers. Then the number of solution will be 14c4. But we have a restriction here. Yi is at most 5. Yi is at most 5. So actually in these number of solutions, those cases are also included when one of the variable out of y1, y2, y3, y4, y5 exceed 5. When one of the variable exceed 5. So I have to exclude the case when one of the variable exceed 5. It becomes 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. So I don't know which variable exceeded 5 here. So let's say first I am choosing 5c1, means out of these 5 variables y1, y2, y3, y4, y5, one variable I have selected 5c1. Let's say this selected variable is y5. Let's say this selected variable is y5 here. Let's say y5 exceeded 5. Let's say it becomes 6 at least 6. So that means 6 objects are already given to y5. So now I'm left with 10 minus 6. Now I'm left with only 4 objects. And these 4 objects are further distributed among these 5 persons. 4 objects are further distributed among these 5 persons. So now n is 4, r is 5. So n plus r minus 1, c r minus 1. So it will be 8c4. So these are the number of cases, 5c1 into 8c4. These are the number of cases when one of the variable exceeded 5. That's why these cases are excluded here. So now just calculate this 14c4 minus 5c1 into 8c4. Just calculate this. So when you calculate this 14c4 minus 5 into 8c4, so when you calculate it becomes 651. 651. So xyz is 651. They are asking x plus y plus z. Means 6 plus 5 plus 1. Hence it is 12. Right? So in a triangle ABC, cos A, cos B, cos C is A, sin A, sin B, sin C is B. Then what will be the value of tan A, tan B plus tan B, tan C plus tan C, tan A? Sin A, cos B, cos C is A, sin A, sin B, sin C is B. You have to get tan A, tan B plus tan B, tan C plus tan C, tan A. So let's see how to get this. Tan A, tan B plus tan B, tan C plus tan C, tan A. So let's say this tan A, tan B plus tan B, tan C plus tan C, tan A. Let's convert these in terms of sine and cos. So I can write it as sine A by cos A into sine B by cos B plus sine B by cos B sine C by cos C sine C by cos C sine A by cos C. Now if I take LCM here, the denominator becomes cos A cos B cos C. Denominator becomes what? Cos A cos B cos C, which is A actually, A. Here you will get sine A sine B cos C, then sine B sine C cos A, then sine C sine A cos B. So now it is what? 1 by A. See, from the first and last I can take sine A common, and when I take sine A common, it is sine B cos C plus cos B sin C. Sine B cos C plus cos B sin C is sine of B plus C. It is sine of B plus C here. Plus sine B sin C cos A. Now it is 1 by A. See, in a triangle ABC, of course, A plus B plus C is pi. So B plus C can be written as pi minus A, and hence sine B plus C is sine pi minus A, and sine pi minus A is nothing but sine A. So we'll substitute sine B plus C as sine A here. So you will get sine square A plus sine B sine C cos A. Now it is 1 by A. This sine square A can be written as 1 minus cos square A plus sine B sine C cos A. Now it is 1 by A. 1 minus, take cos A common here from second and third. So when you take cos A common, so it is cos A minus sine B sine C. Now it is 1 by A. 1 minus cos A. Now this cos A can be written as, A can be written as pi minus B plus C. So this cos A can be written as minus cos B plus C minus sine B sine C. Now it is 1 by A. 1 plus cos A. Now expand this cos B plus C. Cos B plus C is what? Cos B cos C minus sine B sine C. So this sine B sine C will disappear. So ultimately you will get 1 plus cos A cos B cos C here. And cos A plus cos A cos B cos C is A. So you are getting 1 plus A by A here. Means correct option will be 1 plus A over A. 1 plus A over A. Option A is the option A, not option A actually. 1 plus A over A is D option. None of these. So D option is correct here. Okay, let's see this question. A function fx is given here, and you have to find the minimum value of a for which fu is less than fv for all u greater than v. Means basically what they are saying that when u is less than v, fu is less than fv, means your function is an increasing function. So this function is an increasing function. Then what will be the minimum possible integral value of it? And since your function is increasing function, so hence derivative must be greater than or equal to 0 for all x belonging to R. So let's find the derivative now. If I differentiate this function, so I'm getting a minus derivative of cos 2x is what? Minus 2 sin 2x plus cos x minus sin x. Just differentiate it. A minus 2 sin 2x plus cos x minus x. And since your function is increasing, so this derivative should be greater than or equal to 0. So from here you are getting a greater than or equal to 2 sin 2x plus sin x minus cos x. And this should be true for all x. And a is greater than or equal to this. So therefore, a must be greater than or equal to minimum value of this function. Minimum value of this function. So let's say this function is a must be greater than or equal to minimum of gx. And gx is what? Gx is 2 sin 2x. In fact, let me write first like this. Let's substitute sin x minus cos x as t here. So a will be what? Greater than or equal to 2. And see, if you substitute sin x minus cos x as t and do squaring here, so sin square x plus cos square x 1 minus 2 sin x cos x, so sin 2x t square. So sin 2x can be written as 1 minus t square. So a greater than or equal to 2 1 minus t square plus t. And t obviously lies between minus root 2 and root 2. So a must be greater than or equal to this. And since a is greater than or equal to this always, so a must be greater than or equal to maximum of this, not minimum actually. Since a is always greater than this quantity, so a must be greater than the maximum of this quantity. So a should be greater than or equal to maximum of minus 2t square plus t plus 2. A must be greater than, since it is always greater than this, so it should be greater than or equal to maximum of minus 2t square plus t plus 2. Now let's find the maximum of this minus 2t square plus t plus 2. So let's suppose this function is gt. Gt is minus 2t square plus t plus 2. Gt is minus 2t square plus t plus 2. Now if I differentiate this, so g dash t will be minus 4t plus 1. G dash t is 0 when t is 1 by 4. So hence maximum of gt is g1 by 4. g1 by 4 is what? Minus 2 into 1 by 16 minus 1 by 8 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by plus 2. So it is 9 by 4. So hence a must be greater than or equal to 9 by 4. But they are saying that you have to find the minimum possible integral value of a. So hence minimum possible integral value of a will be 3. Minimum integral value of a is 3. If 9 by 4 is 2.25 and should say must be greater than this. So minimum a in integer it should be 3, right? Now let's see this question. A is one among the 6 horses in a race. A is to be ridden by one of the 3 jockeys, PQR. If P rides A, all the horses are equally likely to win. If Q writes A, his chances are doubled, and if R writes A, his chances are tripled. A die is thrown. If 1 or 2 appears, then P writes A. If 3 or 4 or 5 appears, Q writes A. Otherwise, R writes A. So what is the probability that A wins the race? So you have to find the probability that A wins the race. Right. Now three possibilities. P writes A, Q writes A, or R writes A. So P writes A if 1 or 2 appears on the die. If 1 or 2 appears, then P writes A. So 1 or 2 appears means the probability that 1 or 2 appears on the dice is 2 by 6. And in this case, P writes A. And when P writes A, all horses are equally likely to win. Means A wins, this probability will be 1 by 3. Second possibility, Q writes A. Q writes A if 3 or 4 or 5 appears on the dice, means 3 by 6. And in this case, the probability of A winning the race is doubled. It is 2 by 3. And finally, R writes A if we get 6 on the dice. So 1 by 6. And in this case, probability of A winning the race is tripled. Tripled means here it is 1 by 3. Equally likely, how many horses are? 6 horses are there. Sorry, I thought 3 horses are there. 6 horses are there. So 1 by 6 here 2 by 6, and here 3 by 6. This time probability of A winning the race is tripled. So when P writes, probability of A winning the race is 1 by 6, Q writes then 2 by 6, R writes then 3 by 6. So now you are getting 2 plus 6 plus 3 by 36. So it is 11 by 36. Means the last option is the correct option, right? Let's see this question. Okay, let's see this question. This is from a straight line. The line y is equal to mx minus 1 cuts the lines x is equal to 2y and y is equal to minus 2x at 2 points A and B. Then you have to get the locus of the circumcenter of triangle OAB, and this locus is already given to you, 2x plus y into x minus 2y ax plus by. So what is the value of a plus b? So see, you can see that these two lines, x is equal to 2y and y is equal to minus 2x. These two lines are perpendicular lines. So you have two perpendicular lines, x is equal to 2y and y is equal to minus 2x. So let's say one line is this, x is equal to 2y. One line is this, x is equal to 2y. This line is x is equal to. Another line is this, y is equal to minus 2x, which is perpendicular to this. It is perpendicular, y is equal to minus 2x. And a third line, y is equal to mx minus 1, cut these two lines at the points A and B. And obviously these two lines, y is equal to minus 2x and x is equal to 2y, they intersect at O. And this third line is cutting these two lines at the points A and B. So you can clearly see that this triangle OAB is a right triangle. So hence circumcenter of the triangle OAB is nothing but the midpoint of AB, midpoint of the hypotenuse. And I have to get the locus of the circumcenter. So let's say this midpoint is h comma k. So I have to get the locus of this midpoint h comma k here, right? This line is y is equal to mx minus 1. Now let's find the coordinates of A first. So how will you get A? So just solve y is equal to mx minus 1 and x is equal to 2y. Y is equal to mx minus 1 and x is equal to 2y. Let's solve these two. So ultimately I will get what? If I solve these two, y is equal to mx minus 1 and x is equal to 2y. So if I put y as mx minus 1 here, or let me put x is equal to 2y here. Okay, let's solve these two. So I'm solving y is equal to mx minus 1 and x is equal to 2y. Let's solve these two. So put the value of y from the first into the second. So you will get x is equal to 2mx minus 2. X is equal to, just put the value of y from here to here. So x is equal to 2mx minus 2. So ultimately you are getting x is equal to minus 2 over 1 minus 2m. Or you can say 2 over 2m minus 1. So x coordinate of A is 2 over 2m minus 1. And y coordinate is obviously x by 2. So it is 1 by 2m minus 1. This is the coordinate of A. Similarly, let's find the coordinates of B. So to find the coordinates of B, this time you will solve y is equal to mx minus 1 and y is equal to minus 2x. Y is equal to mx minus 1 and solve it with y is equal to minus 2x. So again equate mx minus 1 minus 2x. So you are getting x is equal to 1 over m plus 2. So B has x coordinate 1 over m plus 2. Y coordinate will be minus 2x. So minus 2 over m plus 2. So now I know the coordinates of A and B. H comma K is basically the middle point of AB and this is the circumcenter of triangle OAB. So let's find H comma K. So obviously 2H will be using midpoint formula 2 over 2m minus 1 plus 1 over m plus 2. This is 2H. And 2K will be 1 over 2m minus 1 minus 2 over m plus 2. 2H is 2 over 2m minus 1 plus 1 over m minus 2, m plus 2 in fact. And 2K will be 1 over 2m minus 1 minus 2 over m plus 2. Now let's solve these two equations to get the values of 1 by m plus 2 and 1 by 2m minus 1. So if I multiply this equation by 2 and add, so this one disappears. So you are getting 4H plus 2K is equal to 4 and 1, 5 over 2m minus 1. 5 over 2m minus 1, 4H plus 2K. And similarly, if I multiply the second equation by 2 and subtract, so I will get 2H minus 4K. Multiply the second equation by 2 and subtract. So 2H minus 4K, this 2 by 2m minus 1 is cancelled. And I will get here 1 plus 4, 5 over m plus 2. Over m plus 2. So this gives you 2m minus 1 is 5 over 4H plus 2K and m plus 2 is 5 over 2H minus 4K. M plus 2. Now just eliminate m from these two. So how will you eliminate m from these two? So multiply this equation by 2 and subtract this minus this. Subtract. So since you have multiplied by 2 and subtracting, so you are getting 10 over 2H minus 4K minus 5 over 4H plus 2K is equal to what? 4 plus 1, 5. 4 plus 1 is 5 here. Now it is what? 5 will be cancelled. So it is 2 over, take 2 common here. So it is H minus 2K minus 1 over, take 2 common here. So it is 2H plus K. This is equal to 1. So ultimately I am getting what? I am getting 2 times 2H plus K minus H minus 2K is 2 times h minus 2k into 2h plus k. So ultimately it is what? It is 4h minus h 3h, 4h minus h 3h, and then 2k plus 4k, 2k plus 2k, 4k is 2 times h minus 2k, 2h plus k. This is your required locus. If you replace h with x here, k with y here, so your locus is x minus 2y. 2x plus y is 3 by 2x plus 2y. This is the required locus. And they have given the locus as x minus 2y into 2x plus y is equal to ax plus by. So that means a is 3 by 2 here and b is 2 here. So if you add a plus b, so it should be 7 by 2. So a plus b should be 7 by 2 here, which is the option C. Okay, let's see this question now. This is from indefinite integration. This integral is given as fx plus c. You have to get f of 1 minus f of minus 1. So let's integrate this. So ultimately, if I take x square common from the denominator, and so it can be written as 7x raised to 10 minus 6x. X square taken common here, so I outside the root I will get x raised to 4. Here I will get x raised to 7 plus 4 plus 3x raised to minus 2 whole square dx. It is fx plus c. Right. Now it can be written as 7x raised to 6 minus 6x raised to minus 3 over x raised to 7 plus 3x raised to minus 2 plus 4 whole square dx. Fx plus c. Now substitute this x raised to 7 plus 3x raised to minus 2 plus 4 as t. So when you differentiate it, you can see that the numerator becomes dt. So ultimately, your fx is basically what? dt by t square. dt by t square means minus 1 by t. So minus 1 by x raised to 7 plus 3x raised to minus 2 plus 4. See, it will become dt over t square, which is minus 1 by t. And now it can also be written as minus x square over x raised to 9 plus 4x square plus 3. This is fx. So what will be f1 and f of minus 1? So f1 is what? f1 is minus 1 by 1 plus 4 plus 3, 8. Minus f of minus 1, so that will become plus 1 by minus 1 plus 4 plus 3. So it is 3 plus 4, 7 minus 1, 6. LCM of 8 and 6 is 24 here. It is minus 3 plus 4. So 1 by 24 should be the correct option, which is option A. Okay, let's see this question. They are saying that 5m square minus 16, 2km and k square. These three numbers are in AP, first three terms of an AP. Then what will be the sum of these three terms? You have to get the sum of these three terms. M is any real number here. And k is the greatest integer for which these three are in AP. K is the greatest integer for which these three are in AP. So since these three are in AP, so I can say that the sum of the first and the last, if I add these two, to the sum of these two, the sum of these two should be twice the middle one. So I will get 5m square minus 16 plus k square. It is 4km. First and last, twice the middle. And now you can see that it is a quadratic equation in m. It is 5m square minus 4km plus k square minus 16. It should be 0. And since m is a real number, so hence discriminant of this quadratic must be greater than or equal to 0. When you find the discriminant, it is 16k square minus 4 times k square minus 16. It is greater than or equal to 0. 4 taken common, so you are getting 4k square minus k square means 3k square. 3k square, 16k square, 4 taken common. So you will get 4k square minus 3k square and then minus minus plus 16. Why I'm getting different thing? Let me check. 5m square minus 16 plus k square. This is 4km. So 5m square. Oh, I missed 5 here. So it is 16k square minus 4 into 5k square minus 16. For AC, it is greater than or equal to 0. Now 4 can be taken common. So it is 4k square minus 5k square plus 18 greater than or equal to 0. 4k square minus 5k square, 4k square minus 5k, yes. So it gives you k square less than or equal to 80. And I need the greatest integer k. So hence greatest integer k is greatest integer k is 8 here. Because if I take 9, then k square becomes 81. The maximum greatest integer k will be 8 here. Now if I put k is equal to 8 in this equation, put k is equal to 8 here in this equation, so you will get 5m square minus 32m plus 64 minus 16, which is 48, for k is equal to 8. Now can I factorize it? So I can write it as 5m square. These 5, 16 into 3, 48. And 16 further can be written as 4 into 4. So 5, 4, 4, 3. Just b square. So 5m square minus 20m minus 12m plus 48. Now take m common. So 5m minus 4 and take 12 common here. In fact, if I take 5 common here, m common. So if I take 5m common here, so m minus 4 and minus 12 common here, m minus 4. So two possibilities for m. M is either 12 by 5 or m is 4. But they have one more thing they have given, that these are three distinct terms of an AP. If I take k is equal to 8 and m is equal to 4, if I take k is equal to 8 and m is equal to 4, then all the terms will become equal. See, for k is equal to 8, last term will become 64. Then k is equal to 8, m is equal to 4. K is equal to 8, m is equal to 4. Middle term will also become 64. So this m is equal to 4 must be rejected here. Why it is rejected? Because if I take m is equal to 4, then all the three terms of AP are equal here. So that's why m will be 12 by 5. Now I have to add these three terms. They are asking the sum of the three terms. So what will be sum if I add? The sum will be 5m square minus 16 plus 2km plus k square. Put k is equal to 12 by 5 here, k is equal to 8 here, m is equal to 12 by 5 here, you will get your answer. So just put k is equal to 8, m is equal to 12 by 5, you will get your answer, and your answer is 115 by. The locus of the vertex of the family of this parabola. So first you have to get the vertex and then the locus of the vertex. You can see that this is a quadratic in x. So if I find the vertex of this one, so x coordinate of the vertex will be minus b by 2a. Let's find the x coordinate of the vertex. So let's call the x coordinate of the vertex as h. Since I need the locus of the vertex, so I'm taking the vertex as h comma k. I'm taking the vertex as h comma k. So h will be what? Minus b by 2a. So minus a square by 2, 2a. So 2 times a cube by 3. Minus b over 2a here. So minus a square by 2 divided by minus b over 2a, right? So it is what? It will be minus 3 by 4a. Minus 3 over 4a here. Now just put this value of h, x coordinate here, to get the y coordinate. So y will be what? A will be a cube by 3 x square, which is 9 by 16 a square, plus a square by 2 minus 3 by 4. A cube by 3 x square, which is 9 by 16 a square, then a square by 2 minus 3 by 4. So this comes out to be what? This comes out to be minus, in fact, plus 3 by 16a. And here minus 3 by 8a. LCM will be 16. So it is 3a minus 6a. So it is minus 3a by 16. H and k. So you can see that if I multiply hk, minus 3 by 4a into minus 3a by 16. So hk is what? hk is 9 by 64. 9 by 64. So this is your required locus. The locus is what? xy is equal to 9 by 64. And now you have to check that. In fact, in this question, they should have mentioned that a is the parameter, a should be eliminated. The locus is xy is equal to 9 by 64. And now you have to check out of these 4 points A, B, C, D, which point satisfies the locus? Which point satisfies the locus? So obviously A doesn't satisfy, B doesn't satisfy, C doesn't, D satisfies. 9 by 64. So option D should be the correct option here. Now let's see this question. You have to get the coefficient of x raised to 10 in this expansion. What will be the coefficient of x raised to 10? So if I use so what you have to get coefficient of x raised to 10. So if I use multinomial theorem here, so what will be the general term in this expansion? General term in this expansion is 20 factorial over a factorial, b factorial, c factorial. Then 1 raised to a minus x cube raised to b, 3x raised to 4 whole raised to c. Right? And I need the coefficient of x raised to 10. It can also be written as 20 factorial, a factorial, b factorial, c factorial, minus 1 raised to b, 3 raised to c, x raised to 3b plus 4c. And you need what? You need coefficient of x raised to 10. So that means that this 3b plus 4c, it must be 10. One more thing here, a plus b plus c should be 20. So 3b plus 4c is 10. So now just check. If I put c is equal to 0, then no possibility for b. If I put c is equal to 1, so if I put c is equal to 1 to 4, yes, b is 2, c1, and b to c1, so that means a will be 17. So you can see that 6 plus 4, 10, a plus b plus c is 20, so a must be 70. And if I put c is equal to 2, so then no possibility for b, and c cannot be greater than 2 in any case. So this is the only possibility. So what will be coefficient of x raised to 10? It is 20 factorial over 17 factorial. Then b factorial is 2 factorial, c factorial is 1 factorial, minus 1 square, 3 raised to c, 3 raised to 1. This is the coefficient. 20 factorial over 17 factorial, 2 factorial, minus 1 square. So up to 17 cancel. You are getting 18, 19, 20, 3 divided by 2. So finally it is 18, 19, 3, 10. So just multiply 18, 19, 3, 10. You will get your answer. So 18, 19, 3, 10, if you multiply, 10260 will be your answer. Okay, let's see this question. Again, question is from straight lines. You have to get the locus of the point of intersection of these two lines, provided a square plus b square is equal to 4ab. A and b are parameters here. So it is given that a square plus b square is equal to 4ab. This is what they have given. And you have to get the locus of the point of intersection of these two given lines. Locus of the point of intersection of these two. A and b are parameters. So that simply means that a and b should be eliminated. So you have to eliminate a and b from these two to get the locus. So what I will do here, just multiply these two given equations. So if I multiply x over a plus y over b and ax plus by, so it is 1. Now let's multiply. So you are getting x square plus y square Then you are getting xy common, a over b plus b over a. Just multiply these two equations, you will get this. Now you are getting x square plus y square plus xy, and here you will get a square plus b square over ab. And a square plus b square is given as 4ab here. A square plus b square is given as 4ab. So if you put a square plus b square is equal to 4ab here, so ultimately locus becomes x square plus y square plus 4xy is equal to x square plus y square plus 4xy is equal to 1. And you can clearly see that this is a hyperbola because h square is greater than ab here. A is 1, b is 1, 2hxy, h is 2, so h square is greater than ab, and delta, the discriminant is not 0, so it will be a hyperbola here, means option C. Let's see this question. A and B are two square matrices of order 2 with real entries. Determinant of A is 3 times determinant of B. A minus B whole square is 0, null matrix. Then what will be the determinant of A square minus B square over determinant of B whole square? So let's substitute. Let's suppose determinant of B. Let's suppose determinant of B is D here. Then determinant of A will be 3D. And since A minus B whole square is given 0 here, so from here I can claim that the trace of A will be same as trace of B. Trace of A will be trace of B. And since B is a 2 by 2 matrix, so by Cayley-Hamilton theorem, I can say that if B square, let's say trace of A and trace of B both are, let's say both are T. So by Cayley-Hamilton theorem, I can say that if B square minus T times B plus D times I, that will be 0. And let me write the determinant as a small d, not capital D. Let me write this determinant as a small d here. Let's say determinant of B is D, so determinant of A will be 3D. Actually, any square matrix B satisfies this equation, B square minus TB plus DI0, where T is the trace of the matrix and D is the determinant of the matrix. Because sum of the eigenvalues, sum of the characteristic root is equal to trace, product of root will be determinant. So B satisfies this equation. Now if I write the characteristic equation for the matrix A, so it will be A square, trace is same, so TA, but here determinant is 3D, so 3DI. So I got this. Now if I subtract first minus second, or second minus first, I should say. If I subtract, let's say this is 1, this is 2. If I subtract second minus first, so I will get A square minus B square minus T times A minus B plus 2DI is 0. This gives you A square minus B square plus 2DI is equal to trace of A minus B. Now if I do squaring here both sides, so it is A square minus B square whole square. Then I will get 4 times A square minus B square. In fact, 4D times. I will get 4D times A square minus B square. And then 4D square, I square will be I only. and the right side is 0. Why right side is 0? As a minus b whole square is 0 here. So now you can see that I am getting the characteristic equation for a square minus b square. If I replace a square minus b square, let's say a square minus b square is the matrix M. So I am getting m square plus 4dm plus 4d square by 0. So this is the characteristic equation of the matrix M. M is what? M is a square minus b square. So from here I can say that the determinant of M is 4d square. Actually, product of root will be the determinant. So 4d square is the determinant of M. And M is what? A square minus b square. So I can say that the determinant of a square minus b square is 4 times determinant of b square. D is the determinant of b. And hence, determinant of a square minus b square over determinant of b square, it is equal to 4. Means A is the correct option here, right? Okay, let's see this question. You are given an inverse trigonometric equation here, and you have to get the value of x satisfying this equation. So let's suppose it is a plus b is equal to c. A is what? Tan inverse x plus 1. B is what? Tan inverse x minus 1. And c is what? Tan inverse 8 by 31. Now if I operate tan here both sides, so tan of a plus b is tan c. Now tan of a plus b can be written as tan a plus tan b over 1 minus tan a tan b. So tan a, which is x plus 1, plus tan b, which is x minus 1, over 1 minus tan a tan b, means x plus 1 into x minus 1. It is tan c 8 by 31. So this gives you, if you solve it, this gives you 2x over 1 minus x square minus 1, means 2 minus x square 8 by 30. So finally you are getting 31x is equal to 8 minus 4x square. So this is 4x square plus 31x minus 80. So let's factorize it. 4x square plus 32x minus x minus 80. So x 4x taken common here. So x plus 8 minus taken common here, x plus 8. So you are getting two values of x. X is either 1 by 4 or minus 8. But you can see that if I put x is equal to minus 8 here in the given equation, the left hand side becomes negative, but right hand side is positive. Tan inverse 8 by 31 is a positive number. So x cannot be minus 8. If you take x is equal to minus 8, left hand side becomes positive. Hence this minus 8 will be rejected. And the only possible answer is x is equal to 1 by 4, which is option A. The mean square deviation of set of observations A1, A2, An about a point C is defined like this. So this is defined as mean square deviation about the point C for the observation A1 to N. Now the mean square deviation about the point -1 is given as 3. So if I write the mean square deviation about the point -1, so C will be replaced by -1. So 1 by n sigma a plus 1 whole square, and this mean square deviation is 8. And if I take the mean square deviation about +1, so ai minus 1 whole square, this is given as 4. So from here, let's write ai here. So from here I am getting sigma ai plus 1 whole square is 18, and sigma ai minus 1 whole square is equal to 4n. And of course I is varying from 1 to n in both. Now I can write it as sigma ai square plus 2ai plus 1. It is 8n. And sigma ai square minus 2ai plus 1, it is 4n. If you subtract the second one from the first one, just subtract the second summation from the first summation, so you will get sigma 4ai is equal to 4n. Subtract the second one from the first one, so this gives you sigma ai is equal to n, and hence mean is what? ai a bar, that will be sigma ai over n, which is 1. So mean of these ai, a1, a2, an is 1. Now I have to find the standard deviation. The standard deviation will be what? The root. Since mean is 1, so it will be sigma ai minus 1 whole square divided by n. Mean is 1. So sigma ai minus 1 whole square by n, this is standard deviation. And sigma ai minus 1 whole square divided by n is 4. You can see here, it is 4. Sigma ai minus 1 whole square by n is 4. So it is under root 4. So standard deviation is 2 here. So option D is the correct option. Now let's see this question. F2 is 6, F dash 2 is 1 by 48, and you have to get this limit. So you can write this limit as limit x approaching to 2, 6 to fx 4t cube dt over x minus 2. This limit you have to find, and you can clearly see that since f2 is given 6, so it is 0 by 0 form here, as f2 is 6. So you can use LH rule here, L'Hopital rule. LH rule means you can differentiate numerator and denominator. So let's differentiate the numerator. When you differentiate the numerator using Leibniz formula, so it is 4 times fx whole cube into f dash x. And obviously the derivative of the denominator is 1 here. So this limit comes out to be 4 times f2 whole cube into f dash 2. 4 times f2 is 6, so 6 cube means 216, and f dash 2 is 1 by 48, so it is 12, so 216 by 12. So it is what actually? 216 by 12 is what? 12 and 96, so 18. So this limit is basically 18, right? See this question. A function is given to you. Domain of the function is R plus, means positive real numbers. Codomain is 1 to infinity, and we have to check it is 1 1 many 1 on 2 into 1 1 many 1 on 2 into. So see, I can write this function as x square plus 1 plus e minus 1 over x square plus 1. And now it is basically 1 plus e minus 1 over x square plus 1. X is positive real number, and you can clearly see that when x increases, denominator increases here. Denominator increases means the overall function is a decreasing function here. So when x increases from 0 to infinity, denominator is increasing and hence function is decreasing. Since it is a decreasing function throughout, so it must be 1 function. Now what is the range of the function? So obviously when x is 0, denominator will be minimum, means function will be maximum. So when x is 0, function is what? Function is e. 1 plus e minus 1 by 1. So function is e. And when x approaches to infinity, your function approaches to 1. So hence you can say that the range of this function is 1 to e, open at 1 and closed at e. Actually, domain is all real positive real number. So x is equal to 0 is not there in the domain. X is equal to 0 is not there in the domain. So hence e will not be there in the range. Function will be approaching to e. So range is 1 to e. You can see domain is positive real number. So 0 is not there in the domain. So when x approaches to 0 from positive side, your function will be approaching to e. It will never become e. So hence range will be 1 to e, and you can see that the range is equal to codomain. Codomain is also given 1 to e. So range and codomain are same, means it is onto function. So function is both 1 1 and onto. Both 1 1 and onto means C option is the correct option here, right? Okay, anyhow, let's see this question. So you are given an equation here, f square x is equal to 0 to x ft dt. F square x is 0 to x ft dt cos t over 2 plus sin t. So then what will be the function fx here? You have to find the function fx. So now if I differentiate it both sides with respect to x, let's differentiate both sides with respect to x. So I will get 2fx into f dash x. And on the right side, I will get fx cos x over 2 plus sin x. This is what I am getting. And they have given that kfx is not a zero function, means I can cancel this fx. So I got f dash x is half cos x over 2 plus sin x. Now if I integrated both sides with respect to x, so this will become fx. And on the right side, I will get half. You can see that numerator is the derivative of denominator. It is half ln 2 plus sin x plus some constant, let's say c. Now let's find c. So you can see here from the given equation, in the given equation, just check here. In the given equation, if I put x is equal to 0 here, so f0 will be 0. So let's find f0 from here. f0 is half ln 2 plus c. And f0 is 0. So c is minus half ln 2. And hence your function is what? Half of log 2 plus sin x minus half of log 2. Half can be taken common, and log m minus log n is log m by n. So it is 2 plus sin x by 2 here. So this is your answer, which is option C. C is the correct option here. No need to write x is equal to n, not equal to n pi. It is always defined. So half log 2 plus sin x over. See this question now. Fx is gx times mod x minus 1, x minus 2, x minus 3. And gx is a quadratic, x square plus bx plus c. And they are saying that this function is always differentiable for all x. So what will be g1? Now you know that if I check it independently, so then this mod x minus 1 is not differentiable at 1. Mod x minus 2 is not differentiable at 2. Mod x minus 3 is not differentiable at 3. So this function mod x minus 1, mod x minus 2, mod x minus 3, it is not differentiable at 3 points, 1, 2, 3. But when I multiply it with gx, they are saying that then it is differentiable for all x. So it happens only when g1 is 0, g2 is 0, g3 is 0. So since your function is always differentiable, so g1, g2, g3 all will be 0. So that simply means 1, 2 and 3 are the roots of 1, 2 and 3 are the roots of gx, means roots of this quadratic. But you know that a quadratic cannot have more than 2 roots, and you are getting 3 roots here, 1, 2, 3. So then this quadratic must be an identity. Identity means that all the coefficients should be 0 simultaneously. And hence your gx function is always a 0 function. And since gx is 0, so g1 must be 0 here. Means the value of g1 should be 0 here, right? See this question. They are saying that the term independent of x in this expansion is alpha times the number of solutions of this given equation, second equation. So what will be alpha here? So first I have to get the term independent of x in the given binomial. So let's write its general term of this binomial, tr plus 1. So it is 18cr 9x raised to 18 minus r minus 1 by 3 root x raised to r. So it is 18cr 9x raised to 18 minus r and minus 1 by 3 root x raised to r. Let me repeat, 18cr 9x raised to 18 minus r minus 1 by 3 root x raised to r. Now I can write it as 18cr 9 raised to 18 minus r minus 1 by 3 raised to r x raised to 18 minus r and then minus r by 2. And since the term is independent of x, so this 18 minus 3r by 2, it must be 0. So this gives you r is equal to 12. So what is the term independent of x? Term independent of x. Put r is equal to 12. So it is 18c12 9 raised to 18 minus 12, which is 6, and then minus 1 by 3 raised to 12. So finally it is 18c12. Now let's find the number of solutions of this second equation. Number of solutions of this equation. So you are distributing 12 identical objects among how many persons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Yes, 7 persons. So you are distributing 12 objects among 7 persons without any restriction. To use the formula n plus r minus 1, cr minus 1. N is 12 here and r is 7 here. So n plus r minus 1 cr. The number of solutions of this equation will be n plus r minus 1, 7 minus 1, which is 6, c6. So it is 18c6. Now they are saying that if the term independent of x in the binomial, which is 18c12, is alpha times the number of solutions of the equation, which is 18c6. And 18c6 and 18c12 both are same thing. So hence alpha must be 1. So alpha is actually 1 here. Now let's see this question. This is from differential equations. You are given a differential equation here, 1 2x x times ft dt, x to 1, 1 over t cube dt. So what will be 128 times f2? So if I differentiate here with respect to x, let's differentiate. So you will get, in fact, before differentiation, let me rewrite the equation first. I can rewrite this equation as x times 1 2x ft dt. And this is x to 1, 1 by t cube dt. X times 1 2x ft dt and x to 1, 1 by t cube. Now let's differentiate it. If I differentiate it with respect to x, so on the left side I will be using product rule. So first, the derivative of x is 1 2x ft dt is left as it is. Then x is left as it is and differentiated 1 2x ft dt, so I will get fx here. On the right side I will get 0 minus 1 by x cube. Upper limit 0, then lower limit, if I put the upper limit, derivative of upper limit 0, put the lower limit, derivative of lower limit 1. So I'm getting this equation, 1 2x ft dt plus x fx is equal to minus 1 by t. And from this equation, you can see that if I put x is equal to 1 here, the 1 to 1 ft dt will be 0 plus 1 f1. And on the right side, I'm getting minus 1. So this gives you f1 is equal to minus 1. F1 is minus 1 here. And this equation, if I substitute this 1 to x ft dt, well, let me differentiate it once again. So if I differentiate here once again, I'm getting fx. Here I will be using product rule, the 1 into fx plus x into f dash x. And derivative of 1 by x cube, it is x raised to minus 3. So derivative will be what? Derivative will be 3 by x4. See, x raised to minus 3, minus sign. So when you differentiate, it becomes 3 times x raised to minus 4. So 3 by x4. Now if I substitute fx as y here, so I'm getting 2y plus x dy by dx as 3 by x4. Y is what? Y is fx. Now this is linear differential equation. You can write it as dy by dx plus 2 by xy is equal to 3 by 2x4. Just divide the whole equation by I'm dividing the whole equation by x. So I'm getting dy by dx 2 times y by x and divided the whole equation by x. On the right side 3 over x raised to 5. Now it is linear differential equation. Its integrating factor is what? E raised to p dx, 2 by x dx. So it is e raised to 2 log x. It is x square actually. So hence the solution, you can write it as y into integrating factor. On the right side, you will write q into integrating factor. So this is y into x square on the left side, and on the right side, you are getting 3 times x raised to minus 3 dx. Now let's integrate. Integration of x raised to minus 3 is x raised to minus 2 over minus 2. So this will be minus 3 by 2x square plus some constant c. Some constant c here. Now f1 is 1. F1 is minus 1 actually. F1 is minus 1. Y is fx actually. Y is fx. So I'm getting what? I'm getting fx as minus 3 by 2x4 plus c by x square. Now f1 is minus 1. So if I put x is equal to 1, left side is minus 1, right side is minus 3 by 2 plus c. So this gives you C is equal to half. Now let's find F2. So F2 will be minus 3 by 32 and C is half, so plus 1 by 8. This is F2. If I multiply it with 128, so 128 F2 is what? 32 into 4, 128, so minus 12 plus 16. So it should be 4. 4 should be the correct answer here, right? See this question. OABC is a regular tetrahedron with side length A. And shortest distance between OA and BC is root 2. Then 9 times the square of the volume of the tetrahedron. This is straightforward formula based question. If you can recall the formula and if you know the formula, this is straightforward question. So if OABC is a tetrahedron of side length A, so then shortest distance between OA and BC, shortest distance between OA and BC is A by root 2. And it is given as root 2. So hence A will be 2. And the volume of the tetrahedron again is a straightforward formula. In fact, you should keep these formula in your mind. If OABC is a tetrahedron, the shortest distance between OA and BC will be 1 by root 2. And the volume of the tetrahedron is A cube by 6 root 2. If side length is A. And regular tetrahedron. If it is a regular tetrahedron with side length A. A is what? A is 2. So I got here 8 by 6 root 2. 8 by 6 root 2. They are asking 9 times the square of the volume of the tetrahedron. So it is what? It is 4 by 3 root 2. So it is 2 root 2 by 3. Let's say this volume is V. They are asking 9 times the square of the volume. 9 times V square. So 9, 8 by 9. So 8 will be the correct option here. See this question. A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In A, you have only 5 elements. And in B, you have 6 elements. How many 1, 1 functions we can define from A to B so that Fi is not equal to I, for I is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5. Means F2 should not be 2, F3 should not be 3, F4 should not be 4, F5 should not be 5. And what about F0? So F0 should not be F1. So what about F1 actually? So F1 should not be 0 or 1. F1 should not be 0 or 1. But you can see that there are only 5 elements in the set A and 6 elements in the set B. So there will be one element in the set B which is not mapped with any element of the A. 1, 1 function. So only 5 elements of B will be in the range. One element will be left. So what I am doing here, let's introduce one dummy element in A. Let's introduce one dummy element zero in A. So now A and B both have 6 elements. And I will map 0 with that element which is not associated with any element of B. See, after association of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one element of B will be left which is not mapped. So that element will be left with 0. So ultimately there will be no change in the number of functions as long as these conditions get satisfied. Fi not equal to I. So now two possibilities arise. The first case. First case, let's say I'm saying F0 is not 0. F0 is not 0. But let's take F0 is 0 first. So I'm mapping F0 is 0. And then I'm mapping Fi not equal to I. I is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So obviously your condition is getting satisfied. Fi is not equal to I for I is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5, and you are taking F1 not equal to 1 also. So F1 is not equal to 1, that is also satisfied. And F1 obviously will not be 0 because 0 is taken by 0, F0 is 0. So how many functions you are getting in this case? In this case, the number of functions will be simply, see, F0 is 0, so 0 is already mapped with 0. And for remaining functions, Fi is not, for remaining 5 points, for remaining 5 elements of Fi is not equal to I. For these 5 elements, the number of functions will be D5, derangement of 5 objects. And derangement of 5 objects is what? 5 factorial, 1 by 2 factorial, minus 1 by 3 factorial, plus 1 by 4 factorial, minus 1. And it comes out to be 44. So if F0 is 0, then you will get 44 functions. Now what happens when F0 is not 0? When F0 is not 0. So now I am saying F0 is not 0. Fi is not equal to I is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, let's write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically you are writing that Fi is not equal to I for all 6 elements. But there is one more restriction. F1 should not be 0. F1 should not be 0. So in this case, how many functions you will get? Number of functions. So see, first you are writing Fi is not equal to I for all the 6 elements. I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In fact, I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see that F0 is also not 0. So you can say that Fi is not equal to I. Fi is not equal to I for all the 6 elements 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Means F0 not 0, F1 not 1, F2 not 2, F3 not 3, F4 not 4. The number of functions in this case will be derangement of 6 objects, D6. But when I am writing D6, so this D6 cases, in fact D6 is what? D6 will be 265. So in these 265 cases, there will be some cases where F1 is not, where F1 is 0. Actually, I have to take F1 not 0. So see, F1 is surely not equal to 1 because I have mapped, I have written already Fi not equal to I. So F1 is surely not equal to 1 in these cases. But F1 can be 0, F1 can be 2, F1 can be 3, F1 can be 4, F1 can be 5. 5 possibilities. Total 5 possibilities. Out of these 5 possibilities, I should not take this possibility. This possibility should be ruled out. F1 is equal to 0 should be ruled out. Means out of these 5 possibilities, I will count only these 4 out of 5. One case should be excluded. So that means your number of functions should not be all D6. It should be 4 over 5 D6. Why you are writing 4 over 5 D6? Because total 5 possibilities are there. F1 can be 0, F1 can be 2, F1 can be 3, F1 can be 4, F1 can be. So in these D6 cases, F1 is equal to 0 is also included. Total 5 cases. Out of 5 cases, this case should be excluded. F1 is equal to 0 should not be taken. Means you have to take only the 4 cases out of 5. So hence 4 by 5 D6. And if you calculate D6, that comes out to be, I think, 265. So it is 4 into 53. It is 53? Yes. So ultimately it is what? 212. So how many total functions you got? Total functions you got 44 here in the first case and 212 here in second case. Means total number of functions will be what? 256. So that means your final answer should be 256 here. Yes. Right. Okay, let's wrap up this video, guys. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Take care. God bless you all. Bye bye.